Lawmakers also think that parents should be able to opt their kids out. Michael Harrington is
What's up?
A state Republican representative introduces legislation that would modify Kentucky's new total abortion ban by establishing limited exceptions for pregnancies caused by rape.
Okay, let's go ahead and get ready to go.
Monday, the last day new House bills can be introduced this year. Those prospects are uncertain, and with House members saying the chamber's GOP supermajority has not discussed any particular abortion bill. This is SRN News.com.
I'm pretty handy around the house, but now that I have kids, I don't want to spend my Saturday installing a toilet or fixing an air conditioner. But thankfully, there's Home Advisor. Home Advisor helps me find the best home pros in my area to handle any kind of project. You can read reviews of the pros, check their availability, even book appointments online. And what my wife loves most is that Home Advisor is completely free to use.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com.
Home Advisor.
To get started.
Where can you be a star athlete and a math superstar? Where can you prepare for graduate school or your dream job and make friends with each other? Where can you challenge your mind and inspire your soul? Experience a transforming education at LaGrange College, one of the South's most affordable, highly ranked institutions. Learn more at lagrange.edu.
Carnival time is finally here. LaGrange Spring Fest with Let's Go Family Amusements, March 7th through the 17th. 2 weeks of family fun with over 30 exhibits, rides, and more. Across from the Callaway Football Stadium in LaGrange, Georgia. Presented by LaGrange College, Jordan Communications, and Let's Go Family Amusement. March 7th through the 17th. LaGrange Spring Fest. Carnival season is finally here.
Nick Arnold here from Cowboy to Force. Cowboy to Force is Newman's own addiction recovery support center. We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.cowboytoforce.org or follow us on Facebook.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton. Same great taste. The best
Oshiden.
around. Fish dinners. Open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's Wishbone Fried Chicken right next door to their former location. Bring you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newton.
What is your go-to true crime network? ID Oxygen.
Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. on WQEE 99.1 FM, the key for our show, Lyrical Wisdom. Every week we will dive into the lyrics of songs and uncover hidden messages that we hope will leave you feeling inspired and enlightened. We know that our ideas may not always line up with yours, so this show will be an open discussion. Email us with ideas for songs at lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Let's share some wisdom together.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rod Peterson here, host of The Rod Peterson Show, inviting you to join us daily for 2 hours of Atlanta's funnest sports talk right here on WQEE. I say fun because it is. You've never heard a show like it because we make the listeners a part of the show. Every day between noon and 2 p.m. Eastern, you'll hear plenty of the best sports talk, including the latest on the Falcons, the Braves, and more. And who knows, you might even hear you. That's The Rod Peterson Show, daily at noon, right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
Hey, sports fans. Weekdays, 3 p.m. Eastern to 5 p.m. Eastern. Drive time on WQEE. Braves Country is a Southern sports talk show with Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. That's Braves Country with Mac McGee and the Armchair Quarterbacks. Weekdays, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
The Jets granted quarterback Zach Wilson permission to speak with other teams about a potential trade. Chiefs released wideout Marquez Valdez-Scantling save $12 million in cap space. The Colts prepared to slap the franchise tag on receiver Michael Pittman Jr. They also insist he'll be in Indy come September one way or another. The Rams re-signed receiver DeMarcus Robinson to a 1-year deal. LeBron James put up 19 of his game-high 34 in the fourth quarter.
Good morning, Cheyenne. How you doing? Thank you.
Timberwolves took down the Grizzlies behind Anthony Edwards' game-high 34. They're now a half game ahead of the Thunder for the top spot in the West. Caitlin Clark dropped in 30 33 to break the major college women's basketball scoring mark as the number 6 Hawkeyes torch Minnesota. Clark also set the single season 3-point record with 156.
There we go. Good morning, everybody. Getting started.
That's sports. Rata Moss, NBC News Radio.
The views and opinions of this show and program are not the views and opinions of this station, its management, or its clientele.
This is Adam Benelli of the Columbus River Dragons, your home for River Dragons hockey.
I tell you what, you know what? It's that time again. Get up, get up, get up, get out and get out that door. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time to come into the penitentiary. You are in lockdown with us on this True Crime Thursday. We're going to jump into true crime news, therapy, and Dumb Crook news this morning. All that's coming up. Let's get into it. Who am I? I'm RyanORadio Penitentiary host, the one, the only Ryan O'Neal, and of course, I'm the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast. Shout it out loud, says, you're the game, Ryan. Also, Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, the Navajo Nation. Tuning in this morning. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, the RyanORadio media page, and Earth Rock Radio in East Earth, and of course, Jordan Communication, a family radio stations, East Alabama, West Georgia, including right here at 99.1 FM, WQEE, The Key, home of Southern sports, inspirational talk, and of course, news. Good morning, everybody tuning in. Share, like, and subscribe on the YouTube page. And to my haters, I got one thing to say to all of them. Listen up to this, haters. I am the man around here. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. If I don't see you again, a good night. A straight edge, independent skeptic right there. Straight edge, no drugs, no alcohol, no nothing. Independent, down the middle, tells it like it is. And skeptic means the only thing I believe that. B-I-B-L-E. Coming up, we've got 3 hours of the most fun you can have with your clothes on, unless you're a Motley Crue. Now, good morning out to Pete and the Noonan Dance tuning in to us on our YouTube page, Pete Davis. Good morning, Pete. Cheyenne, good morning to you. Thank you for tuning in, Cheyenne. Are you with the Navajo Nation there? I know good morning to the Navajo Nation as well from Pete says. I know Sweet Leaf as well as Bob, Tim, Sue, and the crew and Rodney K are saying good morning from the Navajo Nation. All right, guys, I got a poll up on my page. We'll get into that on the YouTube page. Like, subscribe, and share the YouTube page of the WQEE YouTube page. What's up? Hey, RR, how you doing this morning? RR's joining us. Cheyenne's joining us. Pete's with us as well on this True Crime Thursday. We're going to dive into some true crime news in the next 3 hours. We got news. We got things going on. We're going to talk about some crossover stuff. And I'm going to tell you about a task force that's out there going against these death threat people. We'll talk about death threat people in just a few moments. Also, we'll get into all that. Israel at war. We'll give you updates on there. I am doing good. Thank you, RR. We got Israel at war. We're going to talk about that and much, much more. So far, we got a couple of votes on the right. Oh, so far. All right. We're going to take a look at our poll question this morning. We put a poll question up. I want to copy Rod. Rod's always successful with his poll questions. So I want to see if I can do the same thing. Rod, it was your idea, so I'm copying you. I'm going to give it to you. I give the original idea to you, my brother. Rod Peterson, weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. on the network. But we'll get into our poll question here in just a few moments. True crime, we can talk about an Alabama man threatening Arizona election officials. We're going to how he went to jail for that in Huntsville. We'll talk about an Alabama man that killed his wife 22 years ago. I know there's a lot of Alabama stuff and we're a Georgia station, but we're worldwide. So we'll talk about that. He's being sentenced to jail. We'll dive into some stuff that's going on in Georgia, across the country. We got some stuff in California, true crime news, and much, much more. So we'll get into all of that. A couple of deaths. Comedian Richard Lewis has passed away, as well as former WWE, WCW star Mike Jones, who is best known as Virgil in the WWE, and Vincent in the WCW. We'll talk about that this morning. 2 more people have passed away. We know we'll get into Shane B next week. He'll have some thoughts on them as well. We'll get that on Tuesday. But God bless them this morning as well. So we'll keep you abreast of what's going on there. I've got details on that. We'll talk about AEW's Dynamite, which reminded me of a minor league version of WCW Nitro last night because of Sting. Thank goodness. Sting! It's Sting! We'll get into that. And we got some true crime stuff. My poll is up on here. I'm going to start dropping polls for the days of the week. Major News Monday, Twisted Tuesdays, Weird Wednesdays, True Crime Thursdays, Fake News Fridays. I'm going to start dropping that in there for you guys to start voting in throughout the morning and everything. What is your go-to true crime network? What is your go-to true crime network? Is it Court Television, Oxygen, Investigation Discovery, which is the ID network? I like to watch that one. Law and Crime Network. Let me know your go-to. In the poll so far, 67% have said Court Television is their go-to. 33% Oxygen, and 0 for Investigation Discovery, and 0 for Law and Crime Network. Tell me what's your go-to true crime network in the WQEE feed on our Facebook page. What is your go-to network, ladies and gentlemen? So let's see if I can get that down. There you go. So far, everybody's poll questions going up. Keep voting. Let us know. We'll have a vote at the end of the morning to tell you your go-to. So far, it looks like Court Television is the go-to one, and I got some news off of the Court Television network that we're going to be talking about this morning. Alec Baldwin, his trial for the shooting on the movie Rust that happened in New Mexico State is going to be set for July. Also, another member of that same staff is on trial right now for the shooting death of a photographer and a director. Was supposed to have been a fake gun shoot, but it didn't work out. John Larroquette, who plays Dan Fillings on the series Night Court. We're going to talk about that this morning. Court, got to get that in there. But let's kick it off this morning. 18 minutes past the hour, 67 degrees. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, quitters, or gooey things at all. Mike and the crew can exterminate and lay the smack down for you. When you're tired of those pests, they can take care of all the rest. There you go. Hello, KW. That's what I'm going to call you, KW. Kinsey, what's up, Kinsey? Good morning to you. Take a poll questions up there. Please let me know what you guys think. All right, let's jump into it. Before we head into it, it's time for our Killingsworth Realty Road Report. And the Road Report this morning brought to you by Killingsworth Real Estate Agent. What is your go-to true crime network, guys? Let me know there. Be careful out there on the roadways this morning as you head out to work, school, or play. If it's morning time where you are tuning in, be careful out there wherever you may be roaming off to. Here's what's going on. Douglasville and Georgia crash. I-20 right past Fairburn Road. That's 92 exit 70. 37 on the right shoulder and causing some delays up to about 32 minutes past the hour this morning. Of course, the Cobb County Big Rig Fire cleaned up at the end of I-20, exit 67. That should be cleared by 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Peachtree at Buckhead, sinkhole there. They're getting it repaired. Take alternate routes, Northside Drive and Piedmont Road. Do not take the other ones because if you go towards there, the left lane open in the southbound, but everything else is slowed down. No traffic issues on Bullsboro, Lower Fayetteville Road or Popular Road this morning. Jackson Street looking good in front of the radio station, heading towards LaGrange Street. Let's go on down towards what we like to call the eastbound and down towards Interstate 85 southbound. It's still eastbound. It's southbound and down, like that old song, eastbound and down. Let's head on down there. Hogansville and Granville looking good this morning. No issues there this morning. Prayer for the mayor and his family with the uncalled for threats out there. and everything in Grantville. We know he doesn't have to worry about that. Heading on down to LaGrange, Commerce Avenue looking good, as well as New Franklin Road, downtown Noonan is the best way to go through Old West Point Road. West Point, going down to get into the West Point area, Kia Boulevard, you get off there, you are right at the Kia plant. But if you get off the West Point exit, you take a right. There's still construction going on the West Point exit. Take a left. There's Love's gas station along with the Hardys. Going down, exit 79 is shut down going into East Alabama, which is Lynette and Valley exit. Head on down to the Valley exit. Exit 77 is where you can go. No issues in Casita, Alabama, as well as Auburn. That's a look at what's going on with your traffic. All right. Our poll question is up on this True Crime Thursday. Wow. Man, it's changing. At first, it was 68% to about 30-something% of Court TV leading Oxygen, but now it looks like, oh wow, here we go. Updates on our poll question on the WQEE Facebook page and YouTube page. Our poll question this morning is, what is your go-to true crime network? I've got Court Television on here, Oxygen, Investigation Discovery, and Law and Crime Network. And look what I've got. It was Court Television in the lead, but now they're at 33%. Oxygen took the lead with 50%. Investigation Discovery ID Network, which I kind of like, is 0% because it's got Homicide Hunter on there. And Law and Crime Network is 17%. All right, you guys keep taking the poll. We'll appreciate that. Poll question up there. What is your go-to network? Is it the ID Network? Is it Court Television, Law and Crime Network, or is it Oxygen? And it looks like the Oxygen Network is taking the number one spot so far, 50% of all that. Wow. Man, it's growing, it's growing. Keep the poll question up. Enjoying that poll question. We will have more poll questions like that throughout the time that we're doing this show live on the YouTube. So I'm going to start adding them. And it could be anything from sports to true crime to paranormal and everything, because we head into the paranormal next week too, to movies and everything. So we'll get all that for you coming up. So stay with us. All right, let's jump into some of the headline news this morning. At 23 minutes past the hour, headlines that you can read for yourself without me having to get into them. What's up? I'm Ahmed Adams. How you doing there? Illinois judge orders Donald Trump removed from the state's primary ballot. Economic recovery under President Joe Biden's trends, economics, and those into the economy says going great. Court orders the former president to pay a full bond amount in New York City in the fraud case. Also in other news this morning, ladies and gentlemen, a former WWE superstar, and WCW superstar has passed away, just to let you guys know there. The former WWE, WCW superstar, Mike Jones, better known as Virgil, the bodyguard for the $1 Million Man in the WWF at the time, and Vincent, the bodyguard for the New World Order for life, has passed away at age 61. He was hospitalized due to recent health issues. Jones was diagnosed with dementia back in 2022, and also a few other things. He had 2 little minor strokes. Good God Almighty. Jones worked with the WWE in 1986 to 1995. He was the bodyguard of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. He even beat the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, at SummerSlam 1991 for the $1 Million belt. He went on to World Championship Wrestling from 96 to 2000, where he was a member of the NWO and stayed with the company for a while till the company went out of business. Of course, he became known as Soul Train Jones at the end of an AEW segment with Chris Jericho. Rest in peace, Mike Jones. Also, Richard Lewis, the famed comedian from Curb Your Enthusiasm, and he was in A Fish Called Wanda, passed away as well. So there you go. Wow, man. Well, I'm going to dive into this Alabama man who was arrested and charged on allegations of threatening Arizona election officials in just a few moments. We're going to get ready to take that break, the first break of the period. But first, got a couple of more little newsworthy notes. Sting! It's Sting! We're going to talk about it later on. Sting, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to talk about it later on, him winning. Plus, I'm going to give you some of the better documentaries to check out for yourself, ladies and germs. Core television news. Alec Baldwin is getting his summer blockbuster into court date on trial due to the big shooting on the set. A New Mexico judge has set a date for Baldwin's involuntary manslaughter charges stemming from a 2021 deadly shooting on the set of Rust, the cowboy movie. Jury selection will begin July 9th, and after that, he will be in court. Baldwin's already pleaded not guilty to this case. Looking up at the stars always reminds me the stars are so small, just little dots. Who cares? And I'm enormous. That's right. You probably are, me films. There you go. Hey, I hear you. Some people like the stars though. 38 degrees feels like 32. 36 feels like 32. Yeah, I know, right? I know. All right, let's take a look at that's a couple of things going on, ladies and gentlemen. Also, one more newsworthy note. WWE has filed a lawsuit against Texas, or the Texas General, the Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton. It was filed on February 16th to prevent an agreement between the WWE and the city of San Antonio. I know they're going to probably bring a WrestleMania in there. WWE claims that the deal is a trade secret and is information that they only have, that it fits them and Texas. So now that I guess they didn't go through with the partnership, they are suing the Texas Attorney General. Wow. Talking about more true crime and court cases today. We got all that going on. Let's take a break, ladies and gentlemen. 28 minutes past the hour. You're tuning in. 36 degrees, feels like 32 in the metro Atlanta area of Noonan. Feeling cold out there. Hopefully it warms up because it's supposed to hit the highs of the near 60s and 70s today, I believe. And we're going to get back to some rain in the forecast going into the weekend. All right, before we dive into anything else, we're going to take a break. Come back. Israel war is going to be another big news story we talk about. But first, I want to tell you, starting March 7th through the 17th, LaGrange, Georgia is going to be the place to be because LaGrange College, Let's Go Family Amusements, and 99.1 FM WQEE, the Jordan Communication and Brand Family Entertainment, is bringing you the Let's Go Family LaGrange Fair. That's coming up March 7th through the 17th, and tickets will be available right here from WQEE. So stay tuned for your tickets to take your family to a big fair on the LaGrange College campus right there across from Callaway Football Stadium, and it's going to be a big one coming up for you. Walk-ins are welcome, and everybody else as well. All right, let's take a break. Poll, thank you guys for answering the poll question. Oh, man, it's starting to average out a little bit here again. It keeps changing. Our poll question is what is your go-to true crime network? It's True Crime Thursday. I got to ask you this question. What is your go-to true crime network? Vote on there. I've got Core Television, Oxygen, ID channel, which is the Investigation Discovery channel, and Law and Crime Network. So Law and Crime Network, Investigation Discovery, Oxygen, and Court Television. Now, Law and Crime Network has come up to about 25% of the votes, and Court Television, Oxygen, both are tied at 38% of the votes, and ID still got a big fat 0 this morning. Big fat 0. Guys, keep voting. Let us know what's your go-to true crime network. And I'm going to tell you some go-to true crime documentaries you need to check out. Since this is True Crime Thursday, we also got the Daily Dumbest of the Day and the Dumb Crook of the Day coming up. It's True Crime Thursday continues in a moment. On the RyanORadio Penitentiary, we're going to put you in the penalty box. Thank you guys for voting. I appreciate that. What is your go-to true crime network? Thank you. Thank you. It's True Crime Thursday. We're going to dive deeper into some other true crime news. And even talk about some true crime stuff, dive deeper into it. Like, subscribe, and share amongst you guys become part of the RyanORadio Penitentiary, you are in lockdown on Real Radio. That's right. Woo! Back down for you. All right. A dirty bird, 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 bird. Thank you guys for voting.
You're walking, shopping, or on your favorite trail. You get that feeling that somebody's coming up on you. What do? Be prepared. In today's world, hi, I'm Alex. I'm the founder of Warrior Defenders.
Oh,
Certified tactical self-defense instructor. I'm specializing in women's self-defense. All women of all ages have the ability to learn how to defend themselves effectively with technical drills to build their survival skills.
every day's a theme day here on the show. If you're joining us for the first time, today is True Crime Thursdays, Weird Wednesdays, Twisted Tuesdays. We usually do movie reviews and a little bit of sports. Major New Monday, news, sports. Some sports have a coach on. Fake News Friday. Used to be called Fake News Friday. I call it TGIF now. I think the Fake News Friday is going to kind of. I don't have any fake news to play with you guys anymore, but I'll probably do it. Hey, how you doing? Patrice, how you doing? Good morning to you. Like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.
Carnival season is finally here.
It's Made Baby Blues Week on Blues Time in the City. I was fascinated with blues.
Ooh, wee.
Yes, Columbus.
You're from Brazil. Good morning. Well, thank you for joining us, Patrice from Brazil. A lovely country. This is America, Atlanta. Oh, here we go. You're not going to make it on time. Good morning. Good morning. It's all right because you are saved by the bell. Good morning, Patrice. Patrice from Brazil's joining us this morning. Thank you very much. Coming up, we got more true crime news you can shake a stick at. 34 minutes past the hour. It is about 36 degrees in the metro Atlanta area. Brought to you by Active Pest Control. Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Before I pull down the poll question this morning, we're going to do a poll question every day since we have a theme every day on the show. Major News Mondays, Twisted Tuesdays, a lot of movie reviews on Tuesdays getting twisted. Weird Wednesdays, we had Horrifying History yesterday. True Crime Thursdays, I'm going to start putting polls on for every day of the week that I'm on live with you guys Monday through Friday. And it's going to be everything from sports to movies to paranormal to scary to true crime and thoughts on that. And my first poll I decided to do this morning was, what is your go-to true crime network? Okay. Everybody's loving true crime. I've been doing it a lot on this show for years. Now, all of a sudden, every network wants to try to do true crime. We got a few true crime networks that originally were doing this. And I put 4 of the original. There's so many other ones out there, but I only put 4 of the originals on there. I got Law and Crime Network, Investigation Discovery, which I like to watch with, of course, Homicide Hunter. Oxygen, who's been doing a lot of them for years, and even the, Snapped on there. Court Television. Now, here's the poll so far. What is your go-to true crime network? Court Television is in the lead at 55% of the votes. This is a voting that were put on the WQEE YouTube page, by the way, for those that are listening live on the radio or streams or everywhere else. You can let me know in the streams what yours is. Court television is in the lead. Auction is in second place with 27%. Court television has 55% of the votes. Law and crime have 18% of the votes. And there's still a big fat 0 egg for investigation discovery. What is your go-to? Court television is the one you like. Oxygen says, Sue. Sweet Leaf says, I don't really get into all that, but if I'm going to watch it, I guess investigate ID. So he's voting ID. Bob says he likes the Crime Network. This is one of them that's got all the stuff about down in where they're down there talking in Miami and all that. Yeah. More the mob type thing. So there you go. I see that. Everybody's got different ones. Rodney K says any of them's all right with me. I don't really have a choice. I just watch any of them when they come on. So there you go. But what is your go-to true crime? Court television, Oxygen, investigation discovery, or Law and Crime Network? Zach Hunter, what's up, brother? Have you heard the story of some rich farm owner who's sold his land because of it had oil, and during the last moment his caretaker let him die for his will? Oh, okay. Really? I haven't heard that one. Sold, okay. Who sold his land because of his oil, Who sold his land because of oil. I haven't heard that one. I'd like to hear that one. That sounds good. Captain Hot Buns, welcome to the show. Had to do that. Cool name. Now, Zach, I haven't heard about the man at the rich farm owner who. I'm gonna look that one up, Zach. I appreciate that, brother. I will look that up. Caretaker took him out for his will. Seems kind of. Patrice from Brazil, thank you for being with us. Go ahead, guys, vote. What's good is all good. Captain Hot Buns, all good, my brother. He's probably like, hey, that's pretty cool. All right, we're gonna get some more true crime coming up this morning. I just want to do a little bit of news before we get into some of the fun stuff, because we're going to talk about the son of Representative Lauren Boebert. You know Lauren Boebert. She's the one that had a little fun with a boyfriend at, a Beetlejuice theater performance. She was like, Beetlejuice. Her son has been arrested on 22 charges in Colorado. Good Lord. I heard it from a radio interview. Some cop opening up investigation about it. I got to get into that. I need to learn more about that so I can probably get them on the show and talk about it. All right, here we go. Short update in the world of Israel at war. They're saying ceasefire by Monday, hopefully by this weekend. 2 soldiers killed in Gaza and Jerusalem as well. Residents of Gaza protesting the rising cost. Hamas says it's firing 4 rockets into Lebanon. Those are some of the top headlines. And UK broadcast journalists are demanding to open access to Gaza. More than 50 UK broadcasters and their journalism degrees, and they want to get in there, have sent an open letter to Israel and Egypt, embracing and calling them to open up so that they can come in and have access to Gaza for foreign media. I don't know if they want them in there or not, but we've been doing a lot of, I guess, in America, looking at that foreign media. So that's what's going on with Israel this morning. Israel at war. All right. It is True Crime Thursday. We're holding at about 20 minutes till the top of the hour. 36 degrees in the Atlanta metro Atlanta area, brought to you by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street in Noonan. Poll question still up there for you. What is your go-to True Crime Network? The poll keeps changing. I love it. That means you guys are participating. Court television, Oxygen, Investigation Discovery, or Law and Crime Network. Investigation Discovery, still nobody's voted for that one, 0. Law and Crime Network, they got 14% of the votes. 21% of the votes went to Oxygen, which they got, snapped on there. And Court television still holding at 64% of the votes there. Zach, I appreciate you letting me know. I'm going to look that up, brother. I appreciate you. Thank you, Captain Hot Buns. He said, I just subscribed. Keep up the good vibes. Hey, I appreciate it, Captain Hot Buns. That's the way to, or I should say, Captain Hot Buns. You got to have a good time with everybody. Everybody's like, I don't know, all these other people whine and cry on these networks and stuff. We're real radio, so that's why. And I mean, I grew up listening to punk rock and heavy metal, so I'm all about having a good time. So, all right, let's jump into it. Oh, we're going to talk about Michigan versus James Crumley, the school shooter's dad trial. We told about the mom's already in trouble. We're going to dive into that here in just a few moments. So, let's do one more news story here. But everything, I want to do a little bit of. We got some more true crime for you here. Police in Dothan, Alabama, for you down there in that neck of the woods, buddy, have arrested a 64-year-old man who got away with murder for 22 years, everybody. Steve, what you doing? You were T-string, he loved men by men, you're not. What? It doesn't matter what you say, jabroni. Know your role and shut your mouth. But still like the page. How you doing this morning? Come to Saudi Arabia. We appreciate you guys. Pete says, like I said, you're my go-to. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that. A lot of people are liking it. And then we'll get a few people who argue on here, but I still like them who like to mess around. Even though they don't like me at first, they'll end up liking me. Steven, you're just jealous that you don't have a cool name like Captain Hot Buns. Because he's a star. All right, anyway, this 64-year-old man thought he could get away with it because, back in the day, man, you could just kill anybody and get away with it. Grandpa did. That's why they wouldn't try to kill that old boy down there, no Brunswick and all the rest of us think it's all right to do that, bud. Cancel culture, man. I hate it, man. Communist, man. Won't let us murder anybody. That's a Dothan, Alabama mindset, too. Arrested a 64-year-old man in connection to his wife's death nearly 22 years ago. Dwight Mills reported his wife, 49-year-old Sharon Mills, missing December 30th, 2001. Wow. 2001. And her body was found a month later. Dothan police, exalted all their leads in this cold case and eventually decided to say, I guess the husband did it. I don't know if he really did or didn't do it. I'm not sure. But if he did, it connected. He was arrested on February 26th, and he's being held on a $1.5 million bond, which he could probably get out of because he's down there in Dothan. He had a life insurance policy. So there you go. Case still under investigation. I don't know what's going on with folks, man. Got that old school mindset of hillbillyism. And you can be a hillbilly up in New York, Pennsylvania, anywhere around the world. It doesn't have to be just South. Hillbilly mindset is, I got skin in the game. I can kill who I want to kill. I should be able to have a girlfriend and slap a woman on the ass and get away with all this stuff. All this stuff. And I keep trying to explain to everybody, like, well, that was back then. Yeah. It was back then. It wasn't accepted. It was just overlooked. Today, it's not overlooked. Usually a husband and a wife is the first one they interrogate. I know, Zach. I guess they usually do that. But if he's part of the good old boy system down there where he's from, they were like, now, okay, I'll tell you what. Let me see, what was his name? We'll bring it. Dwight, we know you wouldn't. Man, we know you got blood all over your hands and all over your shirt, but we don't think you're the one that killed your wife. We know she probably ran off. But no, you're right. They usually do the first one, Zach. But yeah, I don't know. Some of them, that's the way some small towns are. And Dothan's not a small town, but so there you go. I don't know. I just, you got people who will think that it's all right for that to be done. And you have people just like, I'm going to talk about this guy coming up, this Alabama man. And there was many other arrests being made for threats against politicians. We talked about one yesterday in Grantville, Georgia. People just think they can say what they want. It's not freedom of speech to threaten somebody's life, guys, just because you don't like them. I've had people go, well, people feel like that. It's like, well, like the current president. Some people are for him. A lot of people don't really care because they, some people don't like him. But threatening a man's life is kind of, stupid. Same way threatening all these other people's lives because you don't like them because you vote different. And, as an independent, I like to look into these things and bring it out that, hey, threatening somebody's life is just as uneducated. People, that's all right. Grandpa used to do it. Well, Grandpa got away with it because people overlooked it. He didn't get away with it because he was a good guy. Well, he worked in the mill. Well, so what? So what? He worked in the mill. Who cares? Who cares if he worked his whole life? But if he, abused people and did things, gotta go to work. Everybody take it easy, says Captain Hot Buns. Brother, have a good day at work. We thank you for being with us. Share, like, subscribe with everybody. All right. But anyway, back to what I was saying. I like to mess around with some of these uneducated mindsets. Just because it was overlooked back then don't mean it was accepted. Things were overlooked back in the day don't mean they were accepted. We start calling cancel culture and people communists because they don't believe that I can do what I want to do. Jesus understands hot cross buns. Stephen, that's funny. I'm not him, but as long as you don't touch children, no. What are you talking about? I'm not gay at all, bro. Man, and I don't touch children. Actually, we're against that here. Why would you say something as stupid as that, man? That's the most uneducated thing I ever heard in my life. Most people who bring that up are the ones that usually have to look out for. Anybody that listens to the show knows I will cuss out anybody that does anything to children. Anybody. But the imaginary conspiracy theories of the whole world doing it, and there's pizza eating zombies. There's pizza eating zombies that are taking over the world and everything. That is random, man. I don't understand that. We're against all that, and just because I'm not defending child molesting old men that worked at bills because they worked hard and they were so-called patriots, and they're the ones that do all that. Most of them are the ones that do all that. Doesn't mean I'm that, man. That's just, I appreciate you subscribing if you want to. If you don't, I don't really care. Because that was kind of disrespectful, man. I know I've had family members that were abused like that, so it's not a joke. Yeah. All right, we're gonna take a break. Back in a moment, ladies and gentlemen. Stay with us if you got a good comment. If you got a bad comment, hey, as long as it's if you're like Jack, the guy yesterday, he was funny, that's fine. If you're like my friend down in Australia that likes to get on here and pick on me, that's fine. But if it's derogatory, whatever, I'm just going to ignore you. Zach, thank you for being with us. Captain Hot Buns, you take care, brother. Back in a moment.
The Jets granted quarterback Zach Wilson permission to speak with other teams about a potential trade. Chiefs released wideout Marquez.
I know that every time it's everybody else is the bad guy when somebody says something.
They also insist he'll be in Indy.
I'm a metalhead. I'm married. I'm not part of I'm a real Christian. So, I don't make fun of Jesus. I'm not, all my money's not being taken away like all these billionaires out there that everybody worships. They're going to save me. The billionaires are going to save me. No, they're not. They're like, look at that little nobody. Put them in the ground. One guy said he's going to save me. Wow. Man, you guys are really getting into the polls this morning. I appreciate that.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location. 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Newnan. Same great taste. The best chicken around. Fish dinners. Open Great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31. Jackson Street, Suite A, here in Newton.
Shopping for insurance doesn't have to be stressful. I'm Christy, owner of Ellsworth Insurance, located here in Newton, Georgia. We're an independent agency with access to multiple carriers for home, auto, life, health, and commercial insurance. We're your one-stop shop for your insurance needs. www.insurance.
We're talking about an Alabama man who threatened somebody's life. It's all right to threaten their life.
053. We look forward to meeting you soon.
All these people think they can threaten people's lives. All right, we got a couple of great stories to talk about this morning. Thanks to you guys. Got to get some food with my dad. Have a good day, man. You too, Zach. You and your dad have a great day. I don't know if it's breakfast, lunch, or whatever, what time it is, wherever you're at. Enjoy your time. We appreciate that. Thank you for liking and subscribing and sharing, my friends.
Connecting kingdom citizens, kingdom businesses, and advancing the kingdom of God.
Wow.
In this hour.
Getting a lot of response on that poll question.
Sharing their faith, business, and ministry.
Thank you guys for being with us this morning. We get a lot of response to our poll question. What is your go-to true crime network? It's True Crime Thursday. We're talking about a lot of true crime, uneducated stuff going on, and the Daily Dumbest is coming up this morning. Our Dumb Crook news story is still to come. What is your go-to true crime? All right, we got Court Television on the poll, Oxygen, Investigation Discovery, and Law and Crime Network. And well, Law and Crime Network's at 12%. ID Channel has 0%. Oxygen, which is the home of Snapped, is 19%. And Court Television, 69% of the votes. Out there, you guys are loving Court Television more than anything. Still to come, an Alabama man arrested for making threats to an Arizona politicians and officials and election officials over the election results. Oh, you should die, just like the guy said, threatening the mayor of Grantville on Monday night. I mean, people just think because you disagree with somebody, freedom of speech is death threats. No, it's not. Obviously, somebody quit school when they were 16 or quit their sophomore year. You could have been 18 when you were a sophomore. I don't know. Quit when you were a sophomore year, didn't finish your junior and senior year, learn anything about government history or anything to that sort. Learn anything, economics or anything like that in high school to believe that it's all right to say things like this. And all like freedom of speech is you saying things to somebody. Well, grandpa used to do it. Well, it was wrong then. It's wrong now. Just people, like I said, people it was overlooked then. Let's talk about the son of Representative Lauren Boebert, the woman who don't know who her daddy is. And really, I'm not making fun of her, but this is the truth. She doesn't know who her father is. Her mother was a ring rat running around with the Midnight Express, Ric Flair, and all those people, Tommy Wildfire Rich back in the day. So I wonder which one of those are her baby dad. She looks a lot like Jim Cornette. I'm just going to say that. Jim Cornette's not going to like it because he votes liberal and she's Republican. So he's not going to like it. But, hey, I'm messing with both of them. But Boebert has been in the news for going to not only transferring from one location to another to be voted in, she left her district to go to another district. Not only did she and a date she had went and saw Beetlejuice and they were a little handsy, not only did her and her ex-husband meet at a restaurant and he get really loud and obnoxious. Morning from Ohio, Creepy Confidential is with us. Good morning. Not only is that he did, not only that, now the representative, and I'm not trying to make anybody mad, I'm just telling the news. Now I got my true crime poll up. That's what I really want to hear from you guys. Taylor Boebert, the son of U.S. Representative Lauren, was arrested in Colorado Tuesday afternoon after nearly two dozen charges, including 5 felonies. In a social media post, the local police department said that Tyler J. Boebert, 18, was arrested following a recent string of vehicle trespasses and property thefts. He was booked at the Garfield County Jail on 22 counts and charges, including 4 felony counts of criminal possession of ID documents and multiple other things. Wow. The congressman's press secretary sent a statement out saying, I love my son Tyler, who has been through some very difficult times, public challenges for a young man, and the subject of attention that he didn't ask for. Of course, I'm going to tell you something. He didn't ask for it. He is 18. He's got parents that are breaking up in public. His mom is a congresswoman. She says things that some people like and some people don't like. I do feel bad for the kid. I really do. It breaks my heart to see my child struggling and in the situation, especially when he has been provided multiple opportunities to get his life on track. I will never give up on him. I will continue to be there for him. As an adult and a father, Tyler will take responsibility for his actions and should be held accountable for his poor decisions, just like any other citizen. So, her ex-husband, Jason, was charged with disorderly conduct and third-degree trespassing on a January 6th not that. January 6th incident at a restaurant and everything. Ever since they broke up, it's been bad for that family in the public eye. I feel bad for him and everything. And I know some of you vote for, I just feel really sad. And some of you hate her and I'm all it. Look, politics aside, I feel bad for the kid. He's having to go through this. Well, he's 18 years old and knows better. Yeah, no, that's what we're supposed to say. But when your daddy's acting a fool and your mama's acting a fool and you're supposed to, you look up to him at 18. I mean, I'm sorry to tell you this. We as adults are the responsible ones. When we go and burn down cities, when we go and invade capitals on January 6th, when we go and we cuss Fox News out or CNN News out while we're watching it on TV, when we sit here like the next guy we're going to talk about it in the next period, threatening people's lives in politics, then we don't expect these kids to go out and do wrong. I mean, at least this kid's not out shooting people and everything. I mean, some things he can do, he can get straightened up for. But he's trying to get attention. I can tell you right now, the kid's trying to get attention from his parents. While his parents are running around doing the things they're doing, I guess he feels like he's not getting as much attention. I understand. But you can't expect an 18-year-old child to go out there and be a perfect citizen when their dad is out there drinking and hooping and hollering in a restaurant with his ex-wife, and his mom is out on a date in public getting handsies with a date, and then she's out here just saying some things that some people disagree with, most people should disagree with, and everything. And then we're going to go, well, he should take 100% of the, he should be 100% in charge. He should be 100% at fault. I don't think it's 100% these kids' fault. If we're out here acting a fool in public, if you got kids following you around, 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old kids, grandkids, you go outside and you take a, bathroom break outside, guys, the little boys are going to copy you. Okay. You're going to cuss. They're going to cuss. And that's all the way up to 18. Kids are going to copy us. And that's why I feel like as a responsible radio show host and all over the network, it's my responsibility to make sure that I try to kind of keep everything subtle on this show and tell the truth. And because we're responsible for those looking up to us, and your kids are you're your biggest influence on your kids. So I believe Lauren Boebert and Jason Boebert are mainly responsible for Tyler's actions. Back in a moment, we'll take a break. Stay right there. Ain't 1968 anymore. Let's don't just blame. Grandpa just blames you because I'm out here slapping on women on the butt and stealing from people and taking from people and doing things and being hateful. Don't mean you going out there hot rodding is my fault. No, it would never be, would it? Wow, guys, I appreciate the votes this morning.
History Month podcast in the podcast section of the RyanORadio app.
Fargo, the new virtual assistant from
All right, let's see what we got here going on, ladies and germs, boys and girls, children of all ages. Like, subscribe, and share, of course, going up and down on the page. Woo.
And that's just the beginning. Do you Fargo? You can. Wells Fargo Mobile. Learn more by seeing.
WQEE 99.1 FM, The King, Noonan, Sharpsburg, Franklin, LaGrange.
I love the poll. Getting a lot of reaction on that. I appreciate it.
The Supreme Court is going to decide whether former President Trump can claim immunity over his election interference charges. Ryan should with more.
In a brief order, SCOTUS said it would hear arguments and issue a ruling. The case is currently on hold, so no trial can happen. The hearing will take
Wow.
place the week
Growing everywhere.
and could take
We appreciate all the likes and subscribes and everything. Everybody subscribing and liking and sharing and everything. I appreciate it.
Prevent a partial government shutdown on Saturday. More from Mark Mayfield.
The House is expected to vote Thursday on a bill for temporary funding. The Senate will then vote shortly after. It is expected to pass in the House, but may face some hurdles in the Senate. The deal would stop a potential shutdown this Friday of around 20% of the government, with a new
Okay,
funding
good deal.
deadline of March the 8th for that 20%, and March the 22nd for the other 80%. I'm Mark Mayfield.
Russian President Vladimir Putin is delivering his State of the Nation address to Russia's
Vladimir Putin.
Putin. Speech at the Federal Assembly will be
But-
delivered to about 1,000 Russian lawmakers and officials. Putin said last week that the speech will set Russia's goals for the next 6 years and will take into account the internal political calendar. The planned execution of a convicted killer in Idaho was stopped Wednesday after he will establish an IV for the lethal drugs. Liz Kreutz with more.
Media witnesses describe how the 73-year-old lay strapped on the execution table for more than 45 minutes, at times looking over and waving at his family.
His eyes started to fill with tears, and I heard him sniffling.
Medics
Oh,
made a
murderers
test
crying.
on Thomas Cruz prevailed. The Idaho Department of Corrections warden then stepped in to stop the execution. Creech was convicted of 5 murders in 3 states and also killed a neo.
Yeah, he killed people. He's crying, his poor self. But what about the 5 people he killed?
Fixing an air conditioner, but thankfully there's Home Advisor. Home Advisor helps me.
Sorry about that, guys. Hits me hard when we're supposed to feel sorry for all the people that do wrong
Check their availability, even book
and not feel sorry for victims.
What my wife loves most is that Home Advisor.
This show on True Crime Thursdays is about the victim.
HomeAdvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Advisor.
The Baxters have a new first book from #1 New York Times bestselling novelist Karen Kingsbury, author of life-changing fiction, comes The Baxters, a prequel, the heart-pounding story of Carrie Baxter's wedding, amidst family tension and the worst storm Bloomington, Indiana has seen in a decade. The Baxters, by America's favorite
All right.
inspirational storyteller,
Getting ready to go back.
Karen Kingsbury. Visit KarenKingsbury.com for more information. The Baxters, available now wherever books are sold.
Wishbone Fried Chicken is back in a brand new location, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Noonan. Same great taste, the best chicken around. Fish dinners, open Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Is Wishbone Fried Chicken right next door to their former location, bringing you the best chicken around. So great. Wishbone Fried Chicken, 31 Jackson Street, Suite A here in Noonan.
Hey, Arnold here from Cowardly Force. Cowardly Force is Noonan's own addiction recovery support center. We exist to provide recovery support services for individuals and family members who have been impacted by addiction. Our services are no cost, and all of our information is available on our website at www.cowetaforce.org or follow us on Facebook.
Carnival time is finally here. LaGrange Spring Fest with Let's Go Family Amusements, March 7th through the 17th. 2 weeks of family fun with over 30 exhibits, rides, and more.
What's up? Groundhog Day like yesterday being warm. I know. Groundhog like yesterday being warm. I know, right, Pete? I loved yesterday. Now it's cold today. Like, subscribe, and share, guys. Continue to get on the poll. Woo! I don't mean that poll. Don't get all freaky on me now. I ate it too. Told you the groundhog lied to us. All right. Thanks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good morning. Sometimes it is. Come on, sing it with me, everybody. Yeah, yeah. So say good morning. I love it. We were still going, Stewie. We were still going, buddy. Welcome back into the period number 2 on a True Crime Thursday edition of the RyanORadio Penitentiary. You're in lockdown with us. We got some true crime news coming up for you. The husband and the father of the school shooter is on trial. We'll talk about that. Plus, we'll get you some stuff on the Alabama man in trouble. He's been charged. We got a lot of stuff going on. And it's a cool one this morning. It's RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm your host of the most, the one, the only Ryan O'Neal. And of course, I am the game. 50,000 plus of you worldwide, all over the Shoutcast Shout Out Loud, the RyanORadio media page. Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. We're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada. Hey, good morning, Helen, Vicky, and the crew up there. And finally, across the Jordan Communication and Family radio stations, East Alabama, West Georgia, including right here at 99.1 FM, WQEE, home of news, inspirational talk, and Southern sports. We're Atlanta's only real talk station. While everybody else is all computerized, we're real and live. Straight edge independent skeptic until my haters. I got something to say to you. Listen up, haters. I'm the man around here, whether they like it or not. They don't like it that I tell it like it is. They don't like it that I tell the truth. I tell it like it is. It's straight edge independent skeptic. No drugs, no alcohol, no nothing. So this mind is not foggy. Independent means I'm down the middle. I call it like it is. And skeptic means, well, it's got to be proven to me. The only thing that's ever been proven to me is that Bible. And for all the other jabronis out there that want to come on and call themselves trolls, you're messing with the biggest trolls of them all. It's the RyanORadio Penitentiary. You're in lockdown. It's headed up by the warden himself, Ryan O'Neal. I am the straight edge independent skeptic, and I am tell me when I'm telling lies. That's right. And you can't handle the truth. And one thing that's true, though, it's cold out there, baby. Cold. 36, 37 degrees out there in the metro Atlanta area. And it's about 10 minutes past the hour. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, quitters, or gooey things all. Mike on the crew can exterminate and lay the smack down for you. All right. Yes, it is. It's all. Welcome to Georgia, says Pete. That's Georgia weather, I know. If you don't like it, it's going to change in another 5 minutes. Poor Cher out in Iowa's got freezing cold. 70 on Monday and -2 yesterday. Ugh. At least our weather is just like cold in the morning, hot in spring in the middays, summer in the afternoons, fall in the evening, and then freezing overnight. I mean, that's Georgia weather for you. All right, thank you guys for tuning in here. So that's your weather update. We appreciate everybody being with us. We got a lot to talk about. We'll get into some of the headline news for you. We're going to get into some of your true crime. It's True Crime Thursday. And our poll is up, man. People are just voting left and right on this. We got a poll up on our WQEE. Howdy, howdy. It's Anna Marie. Let's do that. She's back. She's back. Let's do the noonan dance. Let's do the noonan. For those of you listening and not being able to see me, I'm having to do a dance called the noonan dance for all of our noonan residents. It's our noonan dance. That's right. A mixture of, what some people like. It's just me swinging my arms back and forth. It's called the noonan dance. We love it. We love it. It's we created our own dance. It's gonna go viral one day. It's gonna be all over the world, and everybody's gonna be doing the noonan dance. they're going to come here and go, it originated there. And our mayor will be like, yes, it originated in that little building over there, in this classical building, and we'll tell you about the classical. Oh, yeah, that Ryan guy. Yeah. We know of him, but, you know. I'm just picking, and the Noonan dance. We love it, says Anna Marie from Noonan. All right. I got a poll up on the page, on our YouTube page. So like, subscribe, and share. That's on the WQEE 99.1 FM Key Atlanta page. Put it up at the last hour, and we're going to keep it up for the remainder of the show. And I'm going to do a different poll every day, whether it's sports, whether it's true crime, whether it's paranormal and scary, horrifying history, whatever topics we got going on, travel. We're going to put food. We're going to have a different poll every day on here. So it's not going to be the same type of poll every day. So you get the first poll I decided to put up and getting a big reaction out of it is, what is your go-to true crime network? I am loving this, guys. I'm gonna put poll. The polls are awesome to deal with. What is your go-to true? We're gonna even do movies, and stuff like that. So get ready for all that. What is your go-to true crime network? Is it Court Television, Oxygen, Investigation Discovery, or Law and Crime Network? So far, this is the way it's looking. ID, one I like is at the bottom with nobody, because I haven't voted because I'm not going to vote, but 0. I would say myself and I think Sweetleaf over. Oh, no. Tim said we're both ID guys, so 2. But I don't know, that's a low percentage, I guess. But anyway, 0% there. Law and Crime Network got 12% of the votes. Oxygen, which has got snapped, that television show on there, 19%. And so many others, of course. And Court Television, I think it's because it's live court sessions. You got to see the Johnny Depp thing. You're getting to see the James Crumley, Michigan versus James Crumley. You get to see what's going on with the Rust with Alec Baldwin's going to be there in July. So, you know, it took 69% of the votes. There you go. I watched none of them. Love listening it on here, though. Oh, okay. Well, that's just there's more true crime networks than those 4. That was just the top 4 that was in my top list that I looked up. It was a top 4 that was on that list. I was like, oh, I'll put them in here. I know there's many more, but and I'm going to tell you guys, of course, some true crime documentaries you need to check out that are very, very cool. So, but with true crime news, you know what that means? True Crime Thursday, you know what that means? It's true crime news time. 15 minutes past the hour, still 36 degrees in the Atlanta metro Atlanta area. Headline news for you this morning. Let's go ahead and drop in some headline news. UK broadcast journalists have demanded an open access to Gaza. More than 50 UK broadcast journalists have sent an open letter to Israel and Egypt calling for free and a lot of access to Gaza for foreign media. Well, a new breakfast theme house for fans is going to be on the way coming up this month with a stack of pancakes complete with butter-shaped chimney. It's made in a stack of pancakes, and it's going to be nights and days for 3 nights in a row. 3 nights, 4 days in Tennessee. The Eggo, you know Eggo, the Eggo, yum. Eggo's House of Pancakes is going to be honoring the National Day of Pancakes, or National Pancake Day, with strawberry and cream sheets and pillows and everything. March 7th through the 10th, beginning next week, the 14th through the 17th, 21st through the 24th, 28th through the 31st. That's going to be in the middle of Tennessee there, right on the outskirts of Nashville. It's the Eggo House of Pancakes, and March is going to bring in National Pancake Day next month. Oh, man, that means you can go anywhere and get free pancakes, probably. But they're going to be doing all kind of things. So, wow, I wanted you guys to know about that. Get you ahead of the game, because we know a lot of you are like, yum. John Larroquette, who is Dan Fielding on Night Court for many years, has reprised that role for Night Court. Get it? Court television. And of course, Tuesday nights, NBC is when it's on. John says it's honoring the original show. He's one of the only original cast members that's reprised his role. I think that they brought back the young pancakes, yummy, says Anna Marie. I think that they brought back Rawls, I think is her name, for one episode. But of course, since Judge Harry Stone, the actor who played him, Harry Anderson, has passed away, died in 2018, they had to put somebody in his place. Melissa Ranch, who played on The Big Bang Theory as, you know, the little blonde girl that was the wife of the astronaut, you know. So she is playing the role of Harrison's daughter, Abby, and following her father's footsteps as becoming a night court judge. Dan Fielding was brought back basically as the prosecutor instead of the defense attorney, and it's the same thing over. He says, Dan Fielding's the same old Dan, but a little older and wiser. Night court, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Times, Tuesday nights. I've watched some of it. It's looked pretty good. Taylor Swift fans, if you only had a daddy like Taylor Swift, people are trying to get it accused. I know there's going to be people like, I don't like her. I think she's a communist because she don't vote the way I vote. I understand. Not educating yourself is a big part of life. Pancake breakfast, feed me now. Pancake breakfast, feed me now, says Pete. Pancake says. They loved that story, didn't they? Taylor Swift, his dad is accused of punching a photographer in the face. On Tuesday, Scott Swift assaulted Ben McDaniel when he got in the face of his daughter, Taylor Swift. The veteran paparazzi, there you go, paparazzi, called the police and said, well, it didn't hurt, but he decided to report it anyway. It didn't really hurt. It wasn't that violent, but I wanted to report it anyway because it was Taylor Swift's daddy so I could get some attention. You know what? That's a good dad right there. You get in my daughter's face, punch. How many daddies would do that out there? Oh, my kid's got to take care of himself. Kind of like Lauren Bogert's son over here. He's going to have to take care of himself. I know I've been a bad influence on him, but I'm not going. What's this whole thing that I throw you out there in the world and I don't care anymore? Good God almighty, what's wrong with people? Taylor Swift's dad, yeah, he's taking up for her. She's a multi-millionaire. She probably pays for some houses for him and everything. You don't think he's going to punch some member of the paparazzi out if they get a little too close to his daughter? Come on now. Sounds like Taylor Swift's dad is doing his job. Amen, Anna Marie. Of course, you know she's evil. You know she's evil. She's the reincarnation of evil, you know. Not anybody else. Nobody else would be. Not anybody I agree with would be. I know she's not. I'm picking with you, Anna Marie. I know. I was telling somebody, this is what I tell people even on the show here. I don't even listen to Taylor Swift. I don't even like her music. Anna Marie says she loves Taylor Swift. I don't even like her music, but I don't like how people are like derogatory towards this young lady because you don't agree with her. Really? Who cares if you don't agree with her? I think her daddy was pretty cool. I mean, come on. Her daddy probably don't even like his daughter's music. Yeah, honey, that's good music. I got to go listen to Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven right quick. But he punched somebody out for his daughter. I mean, that's a daddy right there. That's a daddy right there. I love that. That's a daddy right there. I mean, he ain't using her like Webster's daddy did. Parents did. What about Arnold? What you talking about, Willis? Remember him? His parents used him. Come on. All those kids' parents used him. At least Taylor Swift is kind of normal. I mean, she's not the one doing the hitting. I agree, honestly, it is one song I love, and that's why I like her. Hey, she can put as much music as I would, like I tell everybody, if she would give me the time of day to be on my show, I'd interview her. Her Swifties would follow me then. I'd have no problem with that young lady whatsoever. I put a news story out about her and Chiefs head coach Andy Reid talking about, hey, I think she was pretty good for the business and coming out and everything. She's a big fan of our team and everything. You know, he was being positive. Somebody had to respond on there how evil she was. I don't like her. Why? Because she don't like because you and her don't agree politically? Come on, it's time to get over that, guys. I don't know about you, but I'm sorry I have to repeat this every day, but it seems like I have to repeat it every day to get it into some people's heads that we don't have to worry about politics. And to me, Taylor Swift brought a lot of eyes to the NFL this past season. Okay? She brought a lot of eyes to the NFL. Okay? She's a nice kid, and the song I like is the one she wrote about spending the day with her mom. Oh, well, you know, that's sweet. I never really listened to it, but I actually like her old day stuff where she was always dogging every boyfriend. When I found out that most all them songs are about dogging her boyfriend, I was like, that's punk rock, baby. That's heavy metal, baby. You are an idiot. If it had been a metal song, I'm done with you. But Taylor does it. It's like, no, I don't want to hear it. I'm like, that's punk rock, baby. That's metal. Talking about all your ex-boyfriends. Hey, I got a full album coming out. That son of a gun messed me over. I'm going to talk about it. But that's a cool song. I hear you saying that there. But yeah, I never listened to her music, but when I heard that she wrote a lot about her ex-boyfriends, I'm like, that's cool. That's punk rock, guys. Come on. That's heavy metal. No, man. I want her talking about getting drunk, picking her mom up at the bar, picking her dad up at the prison, picking her dog up at the pound, running over her ex-boyfriend because he cheated on her, but she still took him back, and they went to church on Sunday. That's the way to write a song she should be writing. I don't want to hear a song about her life. That's true, but she's a kid with a brand. She's starting to grow up. Yeah, no, I respect her. I will say this to the day out or whatever. We have a lot of people that don't like her that are grandmas and moms and grandmas that were listening to Madonna. Okay? Taylor Swift has more class in her pinky than Madonna has in her whole body. I know people are going to get mad at me because I like Madonna, but I never thought Madonna was talented. I'm sorry. Vogue, strike a pose. Strike a pose. And then the same people are striking a pose and watching Madonna do all the disgusting things she's done over the years go, Taylor Swift is just terrible. Why? Because she votes different than you. Jesus Christ, we have a world full of people that just hate people because they disagree. You know, I don't dislike Ted Nugent because of his views. And actually, I'm an independent, so I'm going to like Ted Nugent. But I don't think you should dislike Ted Nugent because of his views, or dislike Tim Allen because of his views, or Kevin Sorbo because of his views. So you shouldn't dislike Taylor Swift because of her so-called. I've never heard her speak political, but they said she was, but I've never heard it. I went back and tried to study up on this girl, and I'm like, she never said anything. She said, go out and vote. Dave Mustaine said that back in the 90s. I dare anybody to try to say, Dave Mustaine, I don't like him because he might be liberal. I'm like, boy, mess with Dave. Mess with Megadeth. Call him a name. Or he might be Republican. Mess with Dave. Mess with a metalhead. Especially one that's got Christ in his corner. All right, we're going to take a break. So, now I just thought that was a top news story there about her father that needed to be. I don't think her dad needs to be charged for anything. He was just doing protection of his daughter, in my opinion. I know some people are like, I don't want to hear that. I don't like her. I don't really listen to her music, so I don't know that. But I'm not going to disrespect the young lady. I mean, if I could get her on this show, look how much views she took to the NFL this past season. Get her on this show. Look how many views I would get. Heck yeah, buddy. All right, my poll question is still up, though. It's True Crime Thursday. So that was a crime in itself there. We're going to talk about a couple of other true crime news after the break. 26 minutes past the hour, 37 degrees now. out here. It's a cold one. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or good things at all. Mike on the crew can exterminate and lay the smack down for you. Our poll question is, what is your go-to true crime network? Court Television, Oxygen, Investigation Discovery, or Law and Crime Network? That's a poll on our WQEE 99.1 FM, The Key-Atlanta YouTube page. 69% of you are saying Court Television, 19% Oxygen, Law and Crime, 12%, and none of you even care about Investigation Discovery. All right, back in a moment. Stay with us. More on the way as the RyanORadio Penitentiary cruises on. KKKK from Japan. Good morning to you. Konnichiwa. Welcome back in. Let's see here.
Today, overcast skies, high near 59, northeast winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy with occasional showers for your Thursday night, low near 42, 50% chance of rain, east winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For your Friday, a 90% chance of showers all day long, high near 53, winds around 5 to 10 miles per hour.
KKK. I wonder if that's Kiko in Japan. Is that Kiko in Japan? Is that Kiko from Japan or someone different?
Chance of showers to take you into 100% chance of showers for Sunday and Monday as well. Sunday high near 67, low near 55.
I got to get a translator on here. We got worlds apart. It's evening. It's nighttime there in Japan.
Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for the rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Mike and the crew can exterminate and lay the smackdown for you.
Moving is a big decision. Selling or buying a home in any market, but especially today's, can raise a lot of questions. Hi, I'm Amy with Killingsworth Realty. My husband Todd and I serve the Coweta and local area. Our purpose at our first meeting is to learn your goals, answer questions, and provide resources so that you can make the best decision for you and your family. 678-525-0047 to schedule a free consultation today to discuss your real estate needs. You don't have to do this alone.
Carnival time is finally here. LaGrange Spring Fest with Let's Go Family Amusements, March 7th through the 17th. 2 weeks of family fun with over 30 exhibits, rides, and more. Across from the Callaway Football Stadium in LaGrange, Georgia. LaGrange College, Georgia Communications, and Let's Go Family Amusement, March 7th through the 17th. LaGrange Spring Fest. Carnival season is finally here.
Hey, sports fans, it's Ron Peterson here, host of the Ron Peterson Show, inviting you to join us daily for 2 hours of Atlanta's funnest sports talk right here on WQEE. I say fun because it is. You've never heard the show like it because we make the listeners a part of the show. Every day between 2 and 2 p.m. Eastern, you'll hear the best sports talk, including the latest of the Falcons, the Braves, and
Good morning. Good morning.
you might even hear you. That's the Ron Peterson Show daily at noon. Right here on WQEE 99.1 FM.
Ooh, I got to do that. Dude, it went off. It went off. Sorry about that. I lost all those viewers. Jesus Christ. All right. This is what happens when you pay for a phone and it dies. And everything's plugged in and it said 100% 5 minutes ago and then it goes down to 15. That doesn't work when it's plugged in. Sorry. Guys, you need to support the show so that we can spend money on the right equipment. 770-347-9947. Support the show by dropping in to our RyanShelander Cash App. Drop some money into the Cash App at $RyanShelander. That's $RyanShelander. So there you go. $RyanShelander. Yeah, the phone died. Guys, support the show as much as possible. $RyanShelander. and on my Cash App at RyanShelander, so we can keep these phones and equipment going like they're supposed to, so they don't just die on me in the middle of the show. Support the station, 770-347-9947. If you don't want to be successful in your business and you want to shut your doors, then don't buy advertisement with me. But if you want to be successful, if you want to shut your doors and don't want to be successful in business, buy with somebody else that nobody reads. Buy with me because people are actually listening. Devil's attacking my phone this morning. It was at 100%, went down to 15% and died, guys. I don't know. Kind of like this next story. I got to get back to it. I'm getting 20 minutes away from the top of the hour. I had two stories I wanted to cover this hour. I'm not going to get to that. Our daily devotion was brought to you by Our Daily Bread. So there you go. Sponsored by Newton City Church. All right. The father of the Michigan shooter will stand trial for his role in the 2021 Oxford high school shooting 1 month after his wife was convicted on the same charges. James Crumley, the Crumley family, is charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter after his sons killed 4 students and injured 7 people November 30th, 2021. Prosecutors are seeking to prove that James, like his wife Jennifer, caused his son's actions through gross neglect or by willfully disregarding the threat he posted to others by failing to act on signs that showed he may have been dangerous. I told you this, guys. This is a whole parenting thing and everything. We got to start being parents instead of being friends or getting mad and arguing and fussing out. And because we told you Jennifer was more worried about getting to her job working for a real estate agent so she could talk to her boyfriend on Facebook. We told you that. Well, James bought the firearms used in the shooting 3 days before and gifted it to his son despite signing a form that said it was legal to buy firearms for someone else. It was illegal to buy firearms for someone else. The next day, Jennifer brought her son to the shooting range with a firearm. Now, I know there's going to be people out there, man, shooting, that's all right, boy. I'll take my guns all the time. I'll get my son's gun all the time, boy. It don't matter. Well, some of you might not matter. Happy leap year. I know, leap year, right? Some people think it's all right. Well, maybe your kids got sense and you do too. So, not everybody has sense. He bought the guns. The woman took the kid to the shooting range. The day of the shooting, he's got drawings on a math homework where he's wanting to kill everybody, but nobody sees anything in this, do they? No, they don't. They don't see anything in it. No, not whatsoever. No. They don't see anything wrong with it. Parents did. No, they were having their marital problems. She just wanted to get back and talk to her boyfriend. Damn people. On the day of the shooting, the Crumleys were called to the high school for a meeting with a counselor after a staff member caught their son watching a shooting video on his phone and they found his disturbing drawings and writings. The counselor recommended that he be removed from school and they sought immediate medical attention, but guess who refused? The parents. Oh man, whatever, old Taliban, don't worry about him. He just sits in this room playing them damn video games. He ain't nothing wrong with that boy. Jennifer's like, there's nothing wrong with that. I got to get back and forth with my boyfriend. I'm tired of this man right here. That's my husband. 2 hours later, the shooter opened fire, killing those he killed. In December, the couple's 17-year-old son was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of a parole. He previously pleaded guilty to 24 charges, including first-degree murder and terrorism. In February, Jennifer was convicted of 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter. She is scheduled to be sentenced on April 9th. Sentence her! Get rid of her! Now, recently, a judge denied James' request to change a venue. The defendants argued that he couldn't get a fair trial in Oakland County due to the widespread publication around the case and his wife's conviction. Jury selection is scheduled for Tuesday, March 4th. About time they did something to that guy. by the time they do something to parents, buying all this stuff and everything, you are responsible for what your kids do. I told you earlier with Lauren Boebert acting like her son needs to take his responsibility at 18. No, it's her responsibility. It's her ex-husband's responsibility, the way they act out in public, the way they were disregarding their lives out in public. It's the same thing. This Crumley family, it's their responsibility. People are going to defend, well, my rights. Well, the only rights you know is the so-called rights you think you know, and you don't care that these parents did not do their job. The school, we're getting information, the school is encouraging all this to happen. I would have just, if it had been me, I'd probably suspended the kid. Like, you're taking him home. Why? Because these drawings are disturbing. A teacher caught him watching a shooting video. There's something disturbing about this. He's not staying at my school. That was the only thing they could have did different. Many people want to try to blame the school for not knowing this. Well, you know what? They had him in the office that morning, and then nobody knew he had a gun in his backpack and everything in the locker. Didn't nobody know he was going to do this. His parents were more worried about, his mom's more worried about running back to work and flirting with her boyfriend. I don't know what his dad was worried about. Maybe they were having divorce problems. Maybe they were having marital problems and wasn't wanting to talk to each other. Neither one of them want to take responsibility for this kid, and he goes and kills. And I'm glad that they're finally doing this. So this is show parents out there, you've got to watch your kids closer. Like it or not, you got to be a parent, not a buddy. You got to be a parent, not a friend. You got to be a parent and get on to them and not say my kid can do whatever my kid wants to do. You got to be a parent and not worry about running around and satisfying your needs. Okay, like Lauren Boebert had to satisfy her needs with hands-on with a date back at a Beetlejuice play. Then her and her ex-husband, who got rowdy and drunk, he got really rowdy and drunk and got into it with the police there a couple of months ago, where they were having dinner together, arguing. And then now the son is in trouble for all this stuff that he's been doing all this time. And everybody, and she wants to come out and say, he's responsible for himself. No, you're responsible. Lauren, you're responsible for your son. Your ex-husband's responsible for your son. Y'all's actions are responsible for what your kids do. You have to be better people in front of these people. You have to be better people and stop raising Cain and fake analogies and false conspiracy nut theories out there in this world in front of your kids and then expect them not to do something crazy. This kid wanted to kill all them kids because of some conspiracy theories, probably. His mom didn't want to pay attention to him because she wanted to run off and get her somebody else because she's mad at his dad. This Crumley family. Now, both of them are going to go to jail. You know, this guy feels like, well, I'm not going to get a fair trial. Well, dude, yeah, James, you're going to get a fair trial. It's a fair trial. It's going to happen. It's fair that you guys go to jail for this because you bought the guns for someone else when it was illegal to do so. The mom took him to the gun range and you ignored the signs of what was going on mentally health signs with your son. So he goes and he shoots up a school. And then you don't want to be responsible. Because that morning you could have took him onto a mental health expert and nobody would have been hurt. But no, it's the selfishness of some people out there. And I believe I'm 100% glad these Crumley people are getting what they deserve. I don't care if it hurts anybody's feelings out there. I really don't give a damn if it offends you or anything, because as a parent, it should offend you. You should watch your kids. You should watch what they're doing online. You should see who they're hanging out with. You should be on top of everything, whether it makes you feel like my privacy. There's no such thing as privacy when they live under your roof. You are in charge. It's your rules. It's your house. You have a right to see everything that they do. You can't just let them go buck wild and everything. That's why so many people out here, that's why we have adults, Generation X adults, we have millennial adults, we even have boomer adults that are out here acting a fool. This is why we have people that burn down cities and invade capitals and everything and say things, and just like this next guy we're going to do after the break, threatening people's lives. This is why we have things like that. Yeah, it was buffering because my phone went dead. and I was at 100%. It went down to 15% share. I don't know, but I'm back. Yeah, but James is Crumley. Tuesday, March 5th, jury selection begins in that case of the parents. One parent, mother's already been sentenced to the son shooting 4 people and injuring others at a high school. We're going to take a short break. Come back. Hopefully we got time to take a short break. Yeah, I wasn't too happy with the page acting up there. But I'm glad we came back. All right. Okay, still everything's about the same. Our poll question this morning. What is your go-to true crime network? Court Television, Oxygen, Investigation Discovery, and Law and Crime Network. The poll shows that nobody's liking Investigation Discovery right now. We got 12% votes for Law and Crime Network, 19% for the Snap Network, Oxygen, and Court Television's taking up 69%, almost 70% of the votes. We're going to do a daily poll on this show every single day. It's going to be something different, whether it's food, movies, paranormal, scary, true crime, sports. It's going to be all kind of things. Shows, whatever. We're going to do something different every day on these polls and have a good time. I'm going to have a different poll every day. So today's poll, what is your go-to true crime network? Wow. I love it. Back in a moment. Woo, I wasn't too happy about that, guys. Of course, I was like fussing at my phone. You dadgum phone. You dadgum phone going dead. You stupid dadgum phone. Chris, what's up? Thank you for mentioning me, my friend. I wanna read it. He's probably gonna pick on me because Chris likes to pick at me. But not like a troll, because he's a good man. Not like those trolls we have sometimes on here. Oh, Lord. Yeah, I can only add 4 things on the poll. That's why I didn't. I was going to add none of the above on there, but it wouldn't let me add it. I was going to do that, Pete, but it wouldn't let me add it. We're on the 29th day of February in leap year. Let's leap. Let's leap. Yeah, it wasn't. I was going to do, but I didn't want to just add 3 and say which and none of the above. So it starts off with yes and no questions too. I was like, no, I don't want that. Because I was like, oh, I can fill in this. Okay. But yeah, it only lets you do up to 4. I guess if I paid or something, it might add more. I don't know. I'm just now utilizing YouTube. Let's see if we got picked on here yet. I want to pray for somebody. That was sweet. Yeah, we'll definitely pray for the warriors there. Chris. We'll definitely do that. It's a tag. It was on the Facebook page. Alec Baldwin's going to go to court. See, what was it? All right, we got this, we got this, we got this. We got the loser that did that. High wins. You got that right, fella. Oh, yeah. It's on the roll. It's about to get funky all up there. Funky like a monkey, like when you take your shoes off. Funky like a monkey, like when you get on the dance floor. Not funky like a monkey when you take your shoes off. Did I get that wrong? I did. I think so. And I created it. Oh, man. Being off the air just knocked me a little bit there. Being off the YouTube page. Thank you guys for being with us this morning. We're in a red flag warning today for fires in high winds and low humidity in Iowa. We'll keep you in our thoughts and prayers this morning. They're our friends as well. So, wow. Well, we would get into what I like to call this next story, but I'm going to wait till next hour since I had to play a bunch of different things in between and get ready to get back on the Facebook, YouTube page and everything to that sort. So we got some things we're going to look into in just a few moments. Keep your true crime news going on this True Crime Thursday. And we got a poll up on our WQE Key Atlanta page, WQE Key Atlanta YouTube page. What is your, we're going to do different ones every day. So it's going to be some fun ones. Maybe like, I'm even ask our hunters out there when they like to go hunting, because hunting season's, summer's coming up. It's going to be fishing time. So we'll talk about your favorite lake to fish on or something. We're going to ask all kind of poll questions. If it has to do with life, fun, excitement, entertainment, paranormal, weird Wednesday, true crime Thursday, sports, whatever, we're going to dive into it, guys. And we're going to put it in there. I like these poll questions. I'm going to start adding them to our YouTube, WQE Key YouTube page, because getting a lot of great responses this morning. What is your go-to true crime network? Core Television, Oxygen, Investigation Discovery, and Law and Crime Network. That's our first poll question. And I got a lot of hot topics hitting that today. Some people are like, hey, what about none? Yeah, it wouldn't let me put a fifth choice up in there. And so some of you guys would have done none of the above. But hey, there you go. There you go. Well, you guys answer that question and get the poll question there. I'm going to start adding these poll questions. I really appreciate everybody that's participated. There was a lot of people that did, man. And like, subscribe, and everything. I guys, unlike everybody else, I appreciate that. I don't answer poll. I didn't answer the poll, but I like cold case files, I guess. Cold case files. Okay. That's a good one. And speaking of that, since we got a few more minutes left, I'm going to go ahead and drop in some that you guys need to check out. Also, we're going to talk about the death of a former superstar, wrestling superstar. I got a little sports to end the hour with next hour, too. It's not going to be anything that you guys are going to be like, hey, you going to spend a whole hour on sports? No. Where is this list? I had a list. Here we go. True crime docs you guys need to check out. Here's a couple of them you need to check out. I've watched most of these already, so these are my suggestions. Since it's True Crime Thursday. Heaven's Gate, the Cult of Cults. Cult about the aliens meets religion. You remember the guy dying and them killing themselves, and they think their bodies were going to, their souls were going to be taken up into outer space in a space thing back in the 80s, late 80s. Yeah, that thing was that cult was going on a long time. You guys didn't even know it. Check it out. The Golden State Killer, where that was a cop / mechanic. Grandpa finally gets arrested for the killing all over the Golden State. He was the original killer. They called him the original Golden State Killer. He was the original one. He was the original one that Ramirez guy was called. Yeah. So this guy was a cop. He was in small towns. He did petty crimes, and then he's sitting. If I don't get it from Ryan, I get it from Holly. There you go. So, Golden State Killer, that's a good one. McMillan's season 1 story of how one man ripped off McDonald's in the 90s during the Monopoly games, and so many people he got involved, and some of those people went to jail, and some of those people got out of it and had to give the money back. Beware the Slender Man, ladies and gentlemen. The 2016 documentary based on the two 12-year-old girls we talked about before who lured a friend into the Wisconsin woods in an attempt to kill her to appease the Slender Man. That's just some of them that you need to check out. Let's go to the top of the hour news right quick, ladies and germs, boys and girls, children of all ages. We're going to do news, and when we come back, guess what? More true crime. If I don't get it from Ryan, I get it from Holly. Okay, true crime. There you go. Well, we'll get you some true crime. He says, laugh out loud. Well, it's the hottest thing going, so I've been following real true crime for years. Great, two great guests that bring me people that people have never heard of. Just regular, everyday people like between Elizabeth Sarles and Courtney Lizo. They bring me stories that people need to hear. So that's what I love to talk about it, the victims. I don't love that they're victims. I mean, I love to put their names out there, say their names. So next week, next Thursday, returning Sally Toole from Histories and Mysteries. We'll find out what she's got going on. And next month, we're going to try to get our friend TJ Justice to come back. I know he's been working hard, but I got to try to see what I can get him set up. Creepy Confidential, she's coming back soon. She's been working diligently with a brand new job helping. She's working a brand new fantastic job that I'm proud for her. So we'll get her back on soon. Oh, stop the execution of a man that murdered 5 people. Poor guy, he was crying. The victim's families wasn't crying, were they? I'm going to finish up this list, and we'll do some other things.
And what my wife loves most is that HomeAdvisor is completely free to use.
Go to HomeAdvisor.com or download the free app to get started.
Hi, Lisa Wolf to tell you that the 5-hour Hollywood 360 show and the 30-minute radio.
All right, we're ready to go.
Emailed to you every Monday via digital download link that never expires. That's 24 classic radio shows per month, plus the games, celebrity interviews, music trivia, and much more. Listen to Hollywood 360 and Radio Rarities whenever you'd like. Visit Hollywood360radio.com.
.com. We'll have tickets to that too. We're going to have tickets to the fair in LaGrange across from the Callaway Stadium in LaGrange, Georgia. For if you're local, you'll be able to get some tickets. Woohoo! They do that a lot, Cher. Gosh. They started doing that to me. And I tell you what, I think I found out when you tag some people, I think that's what happens. I don't know if you tag anybody or anything or whatever. I know that when I was having a problem on my Facebook pages for a week, it was because I was tagging too many people. And so I only tag very few now that I know are not going to go, oh my God, he tagged me. I know there's no content. I know there's no content that I see on your page. I've never seen anything negative on your page. So I don't know what community standards you're against. But I know that the federal government's coming down on these people hard for a lot of things. All right, ladies and germs, it's the final period of play on this True Crime Thursday. We'll talk about an Alabama man arrested and charged for allegations of threatening the Arizona election officials over his Instagram. This goes in with what we talked about yesterday. Stay tuned. Who am I? RyanORadio Penitentiary. I'm your host with the most, the one, the only Ryan O'Neal, of course, and trying to get likes. Okay, I see. 50,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast. Shout it out loud across that RyanORadio media page. Earth, Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation, real radio and internet. And we're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, eh? And finally, the Jordan Communication of Family radio stations, East Alabama, West Georgia, including right here at 99.1 FM, WQEE The Key, the heartbeat of Atlanta. We're the home of news, inspirational talk, and Southern sports. Our polls up on our page and more, so stay with us. We got the final period of play as we wrangle you up on a True Crime Thursday and get everything done, including the dumb crook this hour. But to my haters, I got one thing to say to you. Listen up. All right, I am the man around here. I will respond to this for Cher tuning in here right quick before we get back into any of our true crime stories and stuff. I'm kind of seeing what's going on with Facebook. And to be honest with you, she said that they had community standards because she was trying to get too many likes. I know that I was tagging too many people at one time on my personal page and the radio station page to the YouTube to get people to watch the YouTube. These social media sites are all out there in the media and everything. It's weird. We're about to talk about a guy that said something on Instagram, and I don't know how the hell he got away with that. And except for they used it to arrest him, and he did get in trouble for it. But I think that they're getting a little bit more stricter because they're having to follow a little bit more rules themselves. And then on top of all this, eventually, like it or not, and there's people that are going to sit here and disagree with me to the day they die, but tell me when I'm telling lies, because they got no other way to do anything in media or anything else except for use their Facebook page because they're not getting hired by real broadcasters or whatever. They'll argue all day that I'm gonna go on Facebook because a lot of people are going to watch it. I'm a preacher on Facebook. I'm gonna do that. And just as soon as Facebook shuts them down because they're not paying them, because Facebook's gonna want to pay for a lot of this stuff. They banned me for 40 hours for liking too many people's posts. See, that's the thing. They want us. Eventually, it's going to become you're going to have to pay to be on Facebook to see things because look how X is doing. Look what Elon Musk is doing on X and Twitter. You have to pay to see people and to follow them and to do things. You have to pay a certain amount. Facebook is trying their leadership, Zuckerberg, like him or not, have never been wanting to do that, but there's more people in his company now and they want to make money. Eventually, it's going to get like this. They're doing little things like that, share where you can't like people, can't tag as many people. Eventually, they're going to start telling these people they got to pay for the time of them playing on the internet, doing FaceTiming on the internet, getting on there going, follow me downtown to this. Look how great I am. Da, da, da. And those people will get mad. Well, this is my personal Facebook page. Why are they charging me? Because it's business. you're doing business, and I'm not talking about you, Sherry, I'm talking about other people. It starts off with the little things like what you're doing, what I did. It starts off with the little things like that. What you and I are doing are little things. It's eventually going to hit these people up bad, and then they're going to get mad and go, I'm going to get a rumbling. Nobody's on Rumble. Nobody's going to go to Rumble. It won't be free. None of these social medias are going to be free. You're going to end up having to pay if you want things done. If they're coming after little things for you and me that are little things that they're not going to charge for, which is tagging and liking, what do you think they're eventually going to do to the people that are out there? Think about it. And 30 days for you just liking something. Used to, it wasn't like that. Things are changing in the Facebook world, and I told people this years ago. Eventually, it's just going to be you with a picture on it, and maybe able to put a couple of pictures of family stuff on there, but going live will only be about less than like 2 or 3 minutes on there going, hey, guys, how you doing? We're at the Burger King. We're at the burger. Last interaction from people to people, more control they have over us. Yeah, that's one thing. But mainly, it's got to do with making money. This is the go-to place that everybody's going to watch television and programs. They're going to YouTube. They're going to Facebook. They're going to streaming. Regular cable is not what it used to be. So the regular cable companies have to make the money they used to make by being partnering up with this. Eventually, as partner up with this, they will have to be under FCC rules, the same type of rules that I'm under. So part of it is you and I are going to get messed over. So we can't really get on there and have the good old fun we used to have on Facebook, because Facebook and all this is going to become, quote, entertainment. I know you like to go live when you're at a concert, and there's nothing wrong with that, because but you don't put the whole concert on there. You just kind of go with, if you get up close enough to Ron Keel, I know, you got to get up there and take a video of him and his sweat coming off. I know you go to concerts, share. And that's the thing. It's just that it's changing for them, so it'll be changing for us. And it's because we're watching more on there. And you know what I'm saying? Laugh out loud. There you go, Sherry. You know what I mean? So that is, and mark my words, it's all going to start changing. I don't want it to. I'm not trying to put this out in the universe and have God change it or whatever you believe, or have whatever. I'm Sweetly's like, yeah, you are. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. He said, JK, just joking. But it's just something I've been seeing for a long time coming in the media. And I've told other people that's a part of the media that's just using Facebook and all this other just for their promotion that, hey, I'm working for a broadcast company. Going to see Jack next weekend. Jack Russell. Oh, yeah, Great White. Okay, cool. But it's honest, guys. It's honest. It's honest. And I know they're like, we all of a sudden going to feel like, well, they're not letting me have my opinion. No, it's just that we're not as important as mainstream media television. The Bachelor is more important to get his view out there about which girl he wants than me and you talk about trying to get along. So Facebook's like, look, what's going to get us more views? Ryan and Pete talking about have a good day, I like spaghetti? Or Ryan talking about Jack and Great White with Cher? Or The Bachelor's dumping that girl and making her cry? I know, guys. That's why I'm trying to build up the YouTube page, guys, for the radio station page, so I can stay on there. So you guys can at least have one page you can get on and talk. But truthfully, that's what it is. 15 minutes past the hour. Well, I think we're about 39 degrees, 40 degrees now in the metro Atlanta area of Noonan. Time and temperature brought to you by Active Pest Control, 34 Jefferson Street, here in the metro Atlanta area of Newnan. Let's finish up with some of those true crime docs. And one more I want to tell you about is called Crime Scene, the vanishing at the Cecil Hotel. The case of a 24-year-old Canadian woman named Elise Lamb, who went missing in 2013, and 3 days later her body was found in the water tank on the top of the roof. Nobody knew why and everything. They kept saying something possessed her. I don't know if it was possession or if it was just she was running from a drug dealer or something. I don't know. The former WWE WCW star known as Virgil / Vincent, Mike Jones, was hospitalized on Wednesday. He died at 61. Jones has been hospitalized due to recent health issues. He was diagnosed with dementia in 2022, had 2 mild strokes. He was worked with the WWE from 1986 to 1999 as the bodyguard of the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. And he beat Ted DiBiase at SummerSlam 1991 for the $1 Million Championship. Jones also worked for WCW as the head of security of the NWO from 1996 to 2000. He was also a member of the NWO in recent years. He appeared on AEW with Chris Jericho in the Inner Circle as So Train Jones. Rest in peace, Mike Jones. Also, Richard Lewis of Curb Your Enthusiasm, and of course, a fish called Wanda, comedian. He was on Ellen too, when she had a comedy show years ago. Passed away. Wow. WWE Monday Night Raw will be airing on Netflix starting January of 2025, and TKO CFO from the TKO company said that they are reviewing the license to find an alternate provider for the last couple of months of Raw on television from October 1st to December 31st before they head to Netflix in 2025. He believes that they'll be able to stay with USA, but if not, they'll have an alternative thing because, of course, SmackDown is going to USA. Still have a good rapport with them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Tampa Bay Buccaneers released linebacker Shaquille Barrett. Vikings and Raiders double trade rumors are out. No more rumors there. River Dragons hockey coming up on Friday, March 1st. Mississippi Seawolves in action. They're going to be playing host at 8:05 p.m. to our Columbus River Dragons. Also, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what else we got in the world of sports. Cavaliers' Max Strohs drills a 99-foot buzzer at the end to edge right past the Mavericks in that game. Just a tad bit past them, defeating the Denver Mavericks. And Broncos decide whether or not who they're going to get as a quarterback, whether they're going to keep quarterback Russell Wilson, who's been on the bench for a long time. TKO had a radio station, right? TKO Company, no. That's a different TKO. TKO Company is the company that was UFC and WWE brought together. They might have satellite radio, but not, I don't know, might be a different radio station company. Everybody always takes names like that. Anyway, Russell Wilson, within 2 weeks, is going to be Coach Sean Payton says, hey, we'll decide whether or not we're going to keep him here in Indianapolis or not. He had a 5-year deal. Big money. The 35-year-old has been out for most of the season. So there you go. That's some sports news for you. All right, our poll question is, what is your true crime net? What is your go-to true crime network? Court Television, Oxygen, Investigation Discovery, and Law and Crime Network, as the Court Television took the lead, and that was 69% of the votes. Let's jump into this. We talked about threatening politicians. And really, I don't give a rat's tail whose side of the aisle you're on. I don't care. Let's do the time warp thing again. Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to ask you about we're going to do some cool poll questions. Some of them you guys might like. Some of them you guys will be like, but I just want to get everybody involved. So, yeah, time warp again. That sounds good to me. All right. We talked about this, I believe it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday, yeah. Grantville City Council members, there's like, I think 3 of them or something like that, small area in Georgia, part of Coweta County, love Grantville, have nothing against them. Mayor Proctor got up and walked out on turned the video off and walked out during a confrontation that he did not want to have with a YouTuber / news type reporter that reports a lot of different stuff. What movie was that on? Wasn't that Tim Curry movie where, Rocky Horror Picture Show or something? We told you about this yesterday. Then the guy goes back and reports, hey, the guy didn't want to talk to us. He turned the video off. He did a report. That's fine. You can do what you want to do on YouTube. Kind of have to watch what you say. That's why I watch what I say when I'm doing this and everything. It's not just FCC rules, radio station rules, or whatever. It's just kind of my way of doing things. And I don't have millions and millions of the Rocks fans. Well, actually, I got millions and millions of Rocks fans listening on the Shoutcast. But we're building up the YouTube page. Of course, I don't have the liars listeners that want to be, let's talk about imaginary conspiracy theories, because I don't like so-and-so. I don't even know who, what, when, where, and why. I don't care what party they're in or whatever. I'm not going to get into all that. I don't even paying attention to that. The point was, you had a guy say something on the YouTube because he felt like he got disrespected by the mayor. And the mayor felt like he didn't want to stay there and get into a confrontation with a man who's been doing a lot of different unique reports on them. Understand? Boom. Move past that. But when you are a viewer, it's got like this guy right here, and you start saying freedom of speech when Cher can't even like pictures, but you can have freedom of speech to threaten somebody, whether they're Republican or Democrat representative. That's kind of messed up, ain't it? And this guy threatened the mayor and the mayor's wife. Now, I had people say, well, the mayor, I'm not going to say, look, nobody deserves it. I don't care. You can disagree with somebody all day about whatever's going on. I have too many high taxes, too much inflation, too much going on, utilities, too much this, that, and the city utilities, da-da-da-da. That's fine. That's dandy, da-da-da-da. I do all that. But when you get out there and you say you and your family deserve to die, that's kind of a threat. That's not freedom of speech. And people that go, well, when people start saying, well, that's because you know somebody in your family that said something disrespectful like that, and you don't want them to get in trouble. I'm going to be honest with you. Somebody in my family threatens to murder somebody, they deserve to be arrested for that. If they threaten to murder the current president because they don't like him, or threaten to murder another candidate in the Republican Party or Democratic Party, or threaten the lives of people, they deserve to be charged with terroristic threats. I'm not going to go, well, they're just mad. No, people are not just mad. This guy was just mad. Now, if I told you this guy was a Republican against a Democrat and some Republicans like, oh, that's all right. If I told you it was Democrat against Republicans, anybody, well, why are they threatening? If you're a Republican. Now, vice versa, if it was a Republican doing it in a Democrat, well, you know how they all are, they're crazy. Or if it was, if it was a Democrat to a Republican, well, they just don't want to listen. He walked off, so that person nobody has a right to threaten anybody, period. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. Okay? And an Alabama man's been arrested for the same thing. From Coleman, Alabama, which is probably what we like to call, you better be out after dark area, if you know what I mean. Anyway, Coleman, Alabama, 59-year-old man by the name of Brian Jerry Oxtat was arrested on Wednesday when he had made initial court appearance in Huntsville, Alabama, where he was charged with 5 counts of communicating in interstate threats. If convicted, he's going to face up to 5 years on each one of those accounts. And he deserves it. And I don't care. You can get mad, but you can't threaten people's lives. According to the Attorney General over in the District of Arizona, he says, we cannot permit election skeptics to threaten justice and everything and people. We will continue to prosecute true threats against Arizona's election officials and other public servants, including direct messages sent on social media or communications in any other form. Old Jerry, we're going to call him Jerry. Brian Jerry. Brian Jerry. He's from Alabama. He'd be Brian Jerry. Oh, Brian Jerry, boy, that boy out there threatening me. They're gonna put him in jail for threatening me. I can't believe that, man. The indictment accuses Brian Jerry of sending the Instagram account of the election of the county there, election 18, threatening message via the social media, his smartphone application, direct message function over 2 days, August the 2nd, 2022, when Arizona held its federal and state primary elections, including for governor. I guess when Kerry Lake didn't get in there, he got mad about it. I don't care whose side you on, ladies and gentlemen. That was stupid. Just like the guy that watched the video and threatened the mayor over there in Grantville. That's stupid if you're threatening their family. Stupid. Still cold outside, but a little warmer. Yeah, the wind is still cold. Ooh. Got to get through this true crime stuff here. I know it's cold out there, Pete. Ooh, it's cold. The message includes death threats, riddled with cussing and unfound allegations that the officials were engaging in election fraud in the state's race for governor. One of the messages included a picture of a toy doll of the character Woody from the Toy Story franchise with an unidentified object behind his back. And this is what the man said. You blanking are dead. You blank are so dead. No, you blanks are so dead. You blanks are so dead. That's not freedom of speech, ladies and gentlemen. Threatening somebody's life is not freedom of speech. If that's the way it is, then we should go ahead and say, don't ever accuse O.J. Simpson of killing his wife ever again, because you're falsifying it. Then, if this guy can get off, then he can too. And I feel like O.J. did it, but I'm just saying. He said to the election officials, "You are lying, cheating mother blankers. You better not come in my church." He's a Christian. He's a Christian. No, he's not. Brian Jerry's not a Christian, because Christians don't believe in murder. My church, my business will send your kids to my school. You are blanket stupid if you think your lives are safe. I'm threatening you and your kids' life. You're threatening all of your lives, boy. The rest comes in increasing threats directed at election officials. They even had to set up an election threats task force, ladies and gentlemen, which the Justice Department launched back in June of 2021. Really? Think about this. A lot of people were threatening people, and people are going, they're just mad. No, they're not just mad. They're ignorant, and they're doing wrong, guys. You cannot defend somebody just because you're mad. Just because Cousin Leroy is mad about something, you cannot defend them. They are doing wrong. Because this is why you got people who think there's going to be some kind of civil war, and there's not. Because you got people like this. People like this are going to go to jail. Yeah, this people like this might pull a gun out and shoot somebody too, but they're going to get shot up. And then what are we supposed to do? Feel sorry for Brian Jerry? Because Brian Jerry was mad about an election that he thinks was stolen in Arizona, and he's from Alabama, has nothing to do with him? Because the news continues to push this narrative to divide you guys? Come on. That's just wrong. Some people are going to drop off because they don't want to hear me telling the truth, because I'm going to defend my cousin and my nephew. No, if you got family members doing this, you need to tell them to stop. They need to shut their mouths and stop saying stuff like this, or they could go to jail for it, because it is wrong. And these people will find you if you put it on your Facebook page and stuff. Charges announced Wednesday as part of the election threats task force. Earlier this week, a guy named Andrew Nichols, 37, of Indiana, pleaded guilty to one count of making threats, interstate communication over leaving voicemails to the threatening the life and family of a Michigan election worker. William Hyde, 52, of San Diego, California, was arrested for same offense last week over threatening messages in Arizona in their election in November of 2020. Public servants who administer our elections, the cornerstone of our democracy, must be able to do their jobs without fear, says the Attorney General of Arizona. The criminal division will continue to aggressively investigate and prosecute those who target election officials and workers in the threats of violence. Even Rudy Giuliani did that here in Georgia. You cannot threaten people, guys, just because it was allowed to be done in the 1960s, okay? Just because Grandpa did it, ladies and gentlemen. Some people don't like hearing me say this because they don't want to hear that the good old days wasn't good. Well, Grandpa used to make threats towards people. Used to be sexist, hateful, racist, whatever, anything. Great-grandpa, grandpa, whatever, across this country. And people go get mad because they're told they're wrong for doing that. And then they're like, well, I want to do the same thing he did. Well, it was wrong then. It just was overlooked. It was a day and time where people just overlooked things because it was like, okay, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect the whole society. But it always did affect the whole society. Why do you think we had so many murders? Why do you think got networks of true crime? People are still investigating murders that happened 20, 30, 40, 100, 60 years ago. Back in the 70s, 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s. People still talking about all this stuff. And anybody that's making threats towards elected officials, you can say, hey, I don't like you. I want you out. You're not doing a good job. I don't believe in your policies. My utilities are too high, That's one thing. You live in a different state and you're threatening somebody in a different state because the person you wanted to vote in was somebody that liked you. We've got to stop this. And then you wonder why these news stories we did about the kid in Michigan going and shooting his school up and his parents acting like it's not that. Well, we didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, you did. You bought the guns for him. You took him out and let him shot. You didn't pay attention to your son when he was asking for help. The day that the school brought you in, told you need to do something about it. No, we didn't do anything about it. Let's leave him here. And then you're arguing about, and then you go, these kids nowadays, there's something wrong with them. They're all shooting everything up. They're all doing something wrong. Yes, they are, because they're watching their parents and their grandparents act a fool, and their great-grandparents act a fool, arguing at the television, cussing the TV out. No, that's not right. I don't care that they said that. I don't believe that. Sitting there cussing the TV out. We need to go to war. You got a few uneducated people saying that. It's spread. And let me tell you something. If you watch the YouTube, you would think that over half this country wants to go to civil war when there's only a small percentage of people that they interview, and they keep running those same interviews over and over. They'll go interview 10 people at a rally, ask them some questions that they don't know, revamp those questions and put them out there and talk about it, and 1,000 different YouTubers will get on there and talk about the same story that's 5 years old. Or somebody said something 5 years ago. Or somebody said something 2 years ago. And go, these people are ready on the brink of war. And you watch and you think it is. I've noticed the same people, like that guy with the same ugly hat on that they talked to him 2 years ago. Then they might get a few people in the modern day. But that's what they do. It's called clickbait. Do not fall for the clickbait. Don't fall. There won't be no civil war. The only people that want that are uneducated people that will never make it outside of their homes, or people like this that are making threats and thinking that it's calling it freedom of speech. And it's not freedom of speech. It's not freedom of speech to threaten anybody's life, by the way. It's not freedom of speech just because you don't like somebody. It's not freedom of speech. If it's freedom of speech, then OJ can come out and say, well, I didn't like Nicole was running around that young Ron guy, they got what they deserved. I mean, they did. I mean, she was my wife, even though I had a girlfriend at the time. But nobody's going to say that that's all right to say that, right? Right? No, but we're going to say it's all right to threaten officials because we're going to say the election was stolen because a few networks will get on there and pander to a small group of people and tell a small group of people this. And then people like this Brian Jerry from Coleman, Alabama, who says, don't come to my town, boy. You come to my town, you ain't going to live. Well, that's not just politicians. That's people of that don't look like him. That's people whose skin tone is a little bit more darker than his too, and you don't want them in Coleman, because that's what that town is known for. And no, I'm not sorry for calling it out. So, but the reality of it is, you cannot make threats on your social media. You cannot threaten people's lives. How many people go to jail for threatening people's lives every day? And then we're going to sit here and say, well, they were just mad at an election, so they had a right to blow off some steam. No, they were mad at the election officials because they're having to pay too much in utilities. No. I had to pay some high utilities this winter, and I got pissed off about it, but I didn't call and go, Noonan Utilities, you're so evil. F you, Noonan Utilities. I'm going to come get you. I'm going to take from your family. You're not going to be able to feed your family. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the way you handle business. And some of these people don't know how to handle business very well. And making threats is because they grew up in a town where, like this guy grew up in Coleman, they made threats and got away with it. So now he's going to be charged on federal crimes and everything, 5 years on each count. He could be going to federal prison for this. And he's just sitting there going, well, Grandma used to do it. Why can't I? It was wrong then, ladies and gentlemen. It just was overlooked. It's just not overlooked anymore. Back in a moment, more true crime news, including our daily donuts of the day. No, it wasn't this guy, even though he was kind of dumb. Back in a moment.
Active Pest Control offers the best services and prices to protect your home, offering both monthly and quarterly pest control services, plus specific services like bed bug, lemon roach, and flea control.
I know it pisses people off, some people off, they don't want to hear the truth because it's like, that makes me feel bad about things I say. Well, we should feel bad if we start cussing people out and wanting death upon them. Unless somebody's really done something terrible to you, and then you have to ask God for forgiveness. But this is no Christian. No church would invite a man in like that. People don't think. You're right, but look, I have a hard time believing that people are not smart enough to think. I really do. Hello? Hello? Hey.
You're not on the air right now, are you?
Not this minute. Why?
Pick up the phone. I don't want to be on the air.
Okay.
That's what I got to tell you. I don't.
Okay. Yeah, I know. I said, okay, I'm just picking it. I had to get it picked up. Yeah, you can't hear it. I'm learning my lesson. Well, the Coleman, Alabama guy. What, the Coleman, Alabama guy? He lives in the town. He's a racist. He deserves to go to prison. People don't think. You're right. But my point is, I agree with you. We all know better. We all say things at times that we shouldn't say. Now, there is one person I do wish I say that to. Other times I get angry and said some stupid things in my past, and that's why I say it's stupid to say that. But I don't think that somebody should lose their. I think people should lose their money if they're out here doing wrong. Yes, I think people should lose things if they're doing wrong. Like this guy should lose everything he's got if he's doing wrong. But there's one person I dislike that's done me terribly that I'm asking God to forgive me for wanting that to happen to them. But everybody else, I don't care. I don't know. I just think people should They don't think, but I think they do know what they're saying. And just because you're mad about an election don't mean you should want to, you know what I'm saying? You should want to go to war. We're not going to war. We're never going to war. It's not going to happen. I know people think it is, but it's not going to happen. I say do things I shouldn't. I say do things I shouldn't sometimes. I know we do. A lot of us do. But you don't get on the internet and you don't send threatening messages to members of political parties and everything because you don't like what they're standing for or what they say. Well, most of them don't say anything. I mean, and I'm not meaning in a derogatory manner. I mean, they don't really say anything that I would say would cause anything. But the news doesn't need to be lying to you guys and telling you the elections are being stolen just so they can get a clickbait. That's what's destroyed this country the last 4 years is all the lies on television. And I know people don't want me to say that because they want to believe things happened, but it's not true. All they did was spread lies and gossip on the TV and cause people to get mad. But this man, he lives in racist Coleman, Alabama, so he deserves to go to jail. He deserves to lose everything. Other people, I don't know. If we looked into them and see why they were saying the things they were saying, maybe we could. But I'm glad they're finally putting these good old boys behind bars. They're not used to it. They're used to doing what they want. They're used to gambling when God says not to gamble. They're used to cheating when God says not to cheat. They're used to committing adultery and killing and stealing and bearing false witness and all that kind of stuff. And now they're getting theirs. Wow, 5 years. Huh. The guy that did that yesterday in Grantville is probably going to get in trouble. To the Grantville, or Monday, the guy that threatened the mayor, probably going to get in trouble and should get in trouble. I mean, I understand high utilities over there because I know people who live in there saying, "Oh, the utilities are too high." But none of them are going up to the mayor's office, knocking on the door, going, "You're this, and I'm going to do this to you." All right, we're back in here, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to get some things going on here. We got a few more. We're going to do our daily dumbest of the day. No, it wasn't the guy from Coleman, Alabama, which it should have been. Man, it's the good old days, man. We got to take it back. Cancel culture, man. Cancel culture, man. Cancel culture. This boy's cancel culturing us by telling us we can't kill nobody. Grandpa used to. Why can't I? Well, let's go to Alaska. An Alaskan bank robber is on the deck for being our dumb crook of the day. Was called immediately after his heist. How was he called immediately after his heist? Good question. He was standing outside the bank counting his loot. I just robbed a bank in there. I got to make sure I got enough. 49-year-old Michael Nash targeted his branch on October of 2023, in the month of October. He come up with a scheme to get all this. It's going to send him to jail for 5 years. He gave the teller a note saying that give him all the money and nobody would get hurt, basically. He walked out with $400 in cash. He's getting 5 years for $400 in cash. And instead of running off, he walks outside in front of the ATM and counts. See what else I can get out of the ATM. I just robbed the bank. He's on his own. So get on it. He's on his Bluetooth. Hey man, I just got the bank out. I just got money in it. Oh, $400. Man, I'm gonna have to get something out of the ATM, man. You know, that car, I mean, it costs too much to get the transmission overloaded. Oh. Did somebody get mad about that dumb crook? Not my listeners. I'm just, somebody out there might say, no, don't talk about him. He was just trying to get money to pay a bill. He only got $400. Hey, look, now you don't have to pay bills for the next 5 years. Now you don't have to pay bills for the next 5 years. He's going to be in prison. WQEE, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going today?
It's going good. It's True Crime Thursday. I got a poll question up on the YouTube page, which did pretty good this morning, which was, what is your go-to true crime network? I only picked 4 because I only could put 4 on there. Court TV, Oxygen, Investigation Discovery, and Law and Crime Network. Investigation Discovery had no one's voted for it. Law and Crime, 12%. Oxygen got 19% of the votes, and 69% of the people say they love court television.
They love court television, but they dislike court in real life.
Hey, we all dislike court in real life, right?
I would have to go with Investigation Discovery.
Well, you and
because it's got the best.
Yes.
And I'm gonna see if you can guess what I'm talking about.
Homicide Hunter.
My.
Wait a minute. I have to guess again. Is that the Homicide Hunter?
Joe Kenda, yeah.
Yes. Well, I said the same thing, and only now on the Navajo Nation, Tim said he liked it, but the poll on the YouTube page says Court TV is what they like to watch because they always got the court shows on there. They're going to have Alec Baldwin is going to be on there next month because of the shooting on the movie in Mexico.
They're real court cases.
They're going live to real court cases. Not, of course, they did a lot of the court.
Not like Judge Judy.
No.
No.
You remember we watched the girl that killed her boyfriend out there.
Oh yeah, Jodi Arias.
She was on Court TV. They had the Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. So this is the Court TV has a lot of that stuff. Next month they're going to start with Alec Baldwin, the shooting death of 2 people on the movie set Rust, which I don't think they ever finished that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
So they're taking that to trial. I thought they settled that.
He's going to trial. The state's taking him to trial. Mexico State's taking him to trial.
So is it going to be do you know if it's going to be a civil suit, for money, or a criminal where they're going to try to put him in jail?
They're going to try to put him in jail because they're already doing another member of the staff that I think was in charge of the gun. They're right now being charged. They've got this lady up there being charged or something. And
I don't think there was any, I don't think the case meets all the criteria for criminal.
Right.
But it definitely does for civil.
Well, he pleaded not guilty already, but they're taking him to court for that. Michigan State attorneys want to do it because it happened. Not Michigan, Mexico State attorneys want to do it because that's where it happened, was there, and
right. So they have jurisdiction.
Okay. They're going to start in July. Coming up in July, they're going to start picking jury members there. So, but yeah, everything.
Interesting, yeah.
So
I guess I can see why that would be everyone's favorite.
Yeah. I mean, right now they're doing the court case of the Michigan shooter whose parents were charged. The mother was charged last month. The father's going to be charged. They're having his case because they're having jury selection on Tuesday. So there you go. I mean, I could see why it would be number one as well. And almost 70% of the listening audience is voting for court television as their go-to. The audience.
Why don't they ever have court radio?
That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah, say you're interested, but
Well, Court TV, I think you can do that. I think they've got a feed where you can stream on a feed for them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would be more interested in doing local court cases.
Yeah.
I want to sit there and
It'd be
see.
hard. That would be kind of hard.
I want to see John Jones, who killed his wife last week because they got in a fight over which moonshine was best, peach or apple. I'm joking.
That's what I was about to say. But you know, you really don't ever know. You know, they could have had an argument over what they were going to have for supper.
Well, 9 times out of 10,
Called on them because they were too loud yelling.
unless you live in our neighborhood, then you, nobody calls.
Nobody calls the cops in our neighborhood. Nobody. They handle everything's handled internally.
Yeah, here's somebody behind.
Nobody wants the cops over here.
I'm trying to figure that one out though. Oh
I
Lord.
wonder why.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that one out myself.
But you know, police officers are really
Too busy.
You know, they have their incidences where do things are questionable or you
Well,
have
some I'm not.
unethical. I mean, you have unethical people in every profession.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just
But in
saying
general, they're all right.
I'm not going to get into all that because I don't really know all that. What I'm saying is they're just too busy to be dealing with some of these people's problems who they're not, as long as they're not beating each other up and punching each other and putting bruises on each other.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You know how we have these preachers that come and preach on the square, the street preachers?
Oh yeah, the cool kids.
And,
I like
and every time they come, you know, somebody attacks them or something. And remember that time?
Man, you can't tell us Rudolph's
that,
not real.
Someone attacked the street preacher right in front of a cop.
Yeah,
Remember
they can't.
that?
Yeah, they can't do anything unless you tell them to arrest them. They can't really do anything.
Okay, but here's the loophole, and here's the trick to that. Okay, the cop says he can't do anything because unless the street preacher says he wants to press charges against the person that attacked him.
Right.
But if the street preacher defended himself, you know, this man's coming at him and puts his hands on him, and he, you know, defends himself by punching the guy. The cop can arrest them both.
Yeah, those fights. It's weird. It's weird how they're not allowed to do that when they want
You
to.
can't arrest one person for attacking, for hitting somebody, but if that person hits back, you can arrest them both.
It determines what state is in. You know, different states have different views.
Well, here's the thing. I believe that, you know, the street preacher, he said he didn't want to press charges, and I understand he was trying to be the forgiving Christian and everything.
Yep.
But there's a big but to this.
There's a lot of big butts.
Next time, sir, you need to press charges, because if you're constantly getting attacked and you're not pressing charges, that can just get turned around on you as well.
Can I?
Some people would say, okay, that's just a setup. You set that up for you to get that person to come attack you, so you can get more attention, you know, because you were attacked.
Yeah,
So,
not everybody thinks
you know,
like
it's
that.
premeditated, like it's all set up, like, you know, I'm gonna go out there and preach, you come and attack me.
Yeah, but not everybody thinks like that. Let me go ahead and tell you though, they're safe now because here's what's happened. The people that did the attacks that were on behalf of other people that wanted to do the attacks are no longer downtown anymore, and the preachers are still downtown. So God took care of it for them.
Well, yeah, God's gonna take care of things, you know.
So you don't have to worry about that. Him turning the other cheek. You know what? Him turning the other cheek worked out pretty well for them.
Well, I mean, you know, you can forgive a person. When you forgive a person, that's not letting that person off. That doesn't mean you let that person off the hook.
Right.
Forgiveness is more for you, not the other person.
Yeah, I
You
understand.
can forgive the person, but still press charges.
Yeah, but you know what? They never have to see that person again because they won't be around. Because the people they were associated with, guess what? Are no longer downtown anymore. So.
Well, and you know, I'm not trying to give the devil any glory, but there's other people downtown that Satan has control over too. So.
Oh well,
We
they.
need to pray for God to put angels around them and protect them.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I got to get ready to get out of here. We got a couple more minutes. We'll get out of here at the top of the hour. We're going to have Sustainable Brown Girl. We'll have Connecting Hearts Radio Network in the final period. 12 to 2 is the Sports Beats. 12 to 2 is Rod Peterson show from 12 to 2 right here on the network. Get in for NHL, CFL, and NFL news. 2 to 3 p.m., Richard Holdridge is going to be bringing you the Sports Beat. And 3 to 5, Brave Country Radio live with Matt McGinn, the armchair quarterbacks, taking you up to 5 o'clock. I'm back here tomorrow morning for the RyanORadio Penitentiary. It's a great replay. You check it out. We'll be back here tomorrow morning and live back on Monday. And I have a new poll for you. I don't know. I'm going to have to think of a good poll this weekend. Maybe you can help me think of one, Andrew. I got to come up with something that's going to be cool. And we are going to do polls on television, maybe some of your favorite TV shows, movies. We're going to do some scary stuff, more true crime, or whatever else you get out there. We're going to definitely put it up there. I don't know what I'm going to do Monday. I know Tuesday I'm going to do a movie one. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say one thing before we sign off. I want to ask everybody out there to pray for me. I'm having surgery tomorrow on my lower back, spinal surgery. And actually all this year, I'm going to have multiple surgeries this year to try to get some health issues straightened out. And so I would appreciate everybody out there to, you know, remember me in your prayers. If you don't mind, please. I need all the prayer I can get.
Yeah, that's true.
Because, you know, God, you know, heals us. He's our healer. And sometimes that means, you know, finding the right doctor. Because, you know, I went through many doctors till I found the one I felt like I was comfortable with.
Yep. Well, all right, guys, we're going to get ready to get out of here. You have a great day. We'll see you on the flip side. Have a great day. Peace, love, respect. I am out of here. And thank you for everybody participating in the poll today. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night. You have a great day too, Andrew.
Bye.
Hold on a second. Oh. All right, guys, you have a great day. Let me get this cut off. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. No, actually, we'll see you Monday. Sorry. We'll see you Monday, but we'll have a great show tomorrow. See ya.